Yes, people, welcome back to GNA TV. Um, Start off by saying Happy New Year. Happy New Year to everyone in the chat. Last day of this crazy year, shall we say? Lots to talk about as well on this, which we will be talking about. Not only the main topic, which is the Chelsea versus Liverpool game, but we're going to start off talking about the Romelu Lukaku saga, the interview that he decided to have with Sky Sports Italy, and it needs to be spoken about. We've not spoken about it yet on GNA TV. It gives us the opportunity to analyze it and give our thoughts on it. We're going to do all of that and everything. Over 16 of you here already. Make sure you smash the like button. Get them likes up. Get them likes up. Share on your socials as well. Share on your socials. Let's get everyone across here as well to get involved in this topic. And before we move forward, let's cue the intro. Yes, people, welcome back to GNA TV. I hope you guys are well, wherever it is that you may be around the world. Before we even delve into this Lukaku news, which we have to talk about, unfortunately, add more added pressure to this, we'll then, after that, talk about the press conference of Thomas Tuchel's, his response to the Lukaku stuff, how he felt about it. And then we're going to talk about the game on Sunday, Chelsea versus Liverpool. Big game. Big game. And yeah, it's kind of left the game, let's just say, up in the air, but with some question marks. It makes it very interesting to go and watch. Kings of CFC says, big up, Gem. Smash the likes and subscribe. Big up to you, my bro. Sosa's here. He says, big 4-4, no safety. Lukaku, the fraud. We're going to talk about team news. Obviously, I have heard that Reece James is going to be out for up to 6 weeks. We'll be talking about that as well. Vinny, big up to you. Gav, man, big up to you. Hiking with Martin, hope you're well. Happy New Year to you. Undertaker CFC, good to see you in the house. Vinny as well. Vinny, nice to see you in the chat. I swear, Twitter and socials went crazy after that, and it's still going now, because when you look at the comments that have came out this morning as well, all the people that have been defending or not defending it and giving their points of view maybe need to rethink about it now. How are you feeling about it now, Jem, after a few hours to mow it down? I'm going to tell you how I feel about it. We're going to talk about that in a bit. Definitely going to talk about that in a bit. Vibe. Nice to see you, bros. It's time to win. Fab's new tweet 4 minutes ago about Lukaku. Yeah, I've got it all. We're going to go through it all. We've got Fab tweets. We've got Feder Nezura's tweets to go through. We've got a bit of Simon Phillips, a bit of Piers as well. There's a couple of things that we're going to go through before we start talking about the preview, which is what we want to talk about. Yeah, what is happening to us? What is happening to us? Happy New Year, Rodrigo. Nice to see you in the chat, bro, as well. So Lukaku set up an interview himself without club knowledge. Yes. Now, let me just start by saying this, because we've got to delve into it straight away. I don't want to waste time because we've got so much to get through today. It's going to be a big show. So keep hitting them likes for me as well. Keep hitting the like, subscribe, do what you got to do while I'm talking away. Look, you are allowed to criticize Lukaku for this. People on social media that are not agreeing or allowing people or saying people shouldn't criticize Lukaku for what's just happened, they are wrong. Are completely wrong. Are massively wrong. So at the end of the day, Chelsea fans, let me tell you this all now before we even start talking about it, right? If you want to criticize Lukaku for what he's done, go and do it, because there's nothing that says you cannot. So don't listen to people that tell you that you cannot criticize Lukaku for this instance, all right? If you want to defend Lukaku and say that there was no real hard words in it, this, that, and the other, or whatever it is that you feel about the player and what was said and the truth, again, that's fine. I do not hold anything against you for doing that. I don't look at you as any differently. Everyone in football is allowed an opinion about a situation, right? And because one's opinion is not the same as the other opinion, it does not mean that you're right or wrong. Because this is serious. None of us are right or wrong. I don't give two fucks who on Twitter, whoever across social media, how annoyed and emotional they get with this situation. You don't actually know what's right or what's wrong. You just go based on how you feel about the moment. And we all do it. And how you feel about the moment doesn't mean that you're wrong. That's just how you feel. So this whole thing of Chelsea being divided or Chelsea fans being divided over this situation shouldn't be. It should be fair enough. That's how you think. This is how we think. Respect it. We move. We have to move because we've got too much football coming ahead with this. But if you want to ask me how I feel about the situation and what I think of the situation, I think it's bullshit. I actually think he's stupid. I think he's unprofessional. And I think the timing of it all is absolute nonsense. Now, the argument of him coming out and saying, oh yeah, but he never digged out the players or Tuchel, this, that, and the other. Like, I don't even know how people were saying that, because when you actually read it, and look, let's just get into it. Let's get some of these tweets up. Yeah, let's start with Fabrizio Romano, because it all stemmed from this comment originally at the beginning. All right. Physically, I am fine, but I am not happy with the situation at Chelsea. Tuchel has chosen to play with another system. I won't give up. I'll be professional. I'm not happy with the situation, but I am a professional and I can't give up now. Now, when I first read that, I agree. I was raged. I was not happy with that. Then there was transcripts, and then there was videos, and people were telling me, go and watch this, go and read this, go and, fair enough. I watched it, I read it, I've done everything that I needed to do. Now, yes, we could argue that Fabrizio Romano's used certain words to make it sound worse than what it is. Yes, I agree to a degree. However, it doesn't actually squash the main thing as what he actually said, which is that he's not happy with the situation and the system that Tuchel's chosen to play, because that was there still. So for you to still come out, for you to still go and sit in front of Italian Sky Sports, and say that, I am going to hold you accountable for it. I don't care if it was 3 weeks ago. I'm sorry. You do not do that. That is so unprofessional. That is so unprofessional from his instance. Not only when the club is suffering from injuries and COVID, and Tuchel's actually in a little bit of a sticky period at the moment in terms of, does he need to switch the system? Is he going to keep it the same? Players are out. Big games, Liverpool, Man City. This timing it just stinks. Yes, the media have used it to their advantage and put it out there. Yes, I agree. But at the same time, at the end of the day, Lukaku's allowed them to do that by giving them information he shouldn't have given them in the first place. Think of it like that. He's given them information he shouldn't have given them in the first place. You have a problem with the system. You have a problem with the situation. Go and speak to your coach directly and the board if you need to, and sort it out. Do not sit in front of an Italian Sky Sports and tell them this. All right, so it stemmed from that, right? And then we moved further up. Where is it? Not this, right? And then that was how we all slept on it, right? And then obviously we got to what Thomas Tuchel felt about the situation. And he was honest, and it was obvious what he was going to say. And, let's be honest, I don't like it because it brings noise we don't need. Now, every Chelsea fan that's actually moaned about what Lukaku's done to this point are upset of the timing of him doing it. and how he's done it and what he's actually said. Now, people that turn around and say, yeah, but, I think it's all right because we need people like that in our team that are just going to say what they think. I think that's the right thing to do. It ain't. Not at this moment in time. The right thing to do is be upset. Be upset about it if it's not, if you're not happy with the system, but go and talk to him. Don't go and sit with an Italian media company and start telling them about it. I'm sorry, you don't do that. Not after being here for 2 minutes. The guy's been here 2 minutes. He's not happy with it. And yes, he did mention that it was taken out of context. That it was blown out of proportion. Yes, it was blown out of proportion. 100%. Just quickly going to read this. Good morning, declared. Sosa, game Gem 3 weeks ago. It isn't that long ago. Embarrassing is what JJ's saying. Exactly. Big up to you. Tuchel has more backing from the fans than Lampard had. Tears in my eyes. It's beautiful. Yeah, and he deserves it. He deserves to have more backing. He shouldn't be in this position right now. Shouldn't have to deal with unprofessional players being unprofessional and talking silly things to media companies. You don't need that. Shouldn't be doing that, especially when you've been here 2 minutes. We're here. What do you say? Yeah, we will talk with Lukaku openly behind closed doors. I am surprised. We will talk with Lukaku openly behind closed doors. I'm surprised because I don't see him unhappy or the opposite. We're here can take the time to try and understand what is going on with Romelu. It does not reflect on the daily attitude. So this is where it must get confusing for him because he's probably seen a player that's just playing, getting on with it. And on the flip side, he's going to Italy to speak why he's ill, or I think when he had COVID at this point, when he's done this, and talking about systems to him. Like, I'm sorry, it's stupid, absolute stupid. It was a few weeks ago. I'm in the moment in which I believe the manager can now play me more like I respect his child. What? I'm just trying to quickly find the ones that I want to bring up. In the meantime, I have got my boy Lorenz here as well. How you doing, Lorenz?
I'm good, mate. Cheers for having me. I hope you're well, especially considering these news. It's difficult to be well these days, isn't it?
Am. I was annoyed that, look, I don't know about you because I haven't had time to watch your stream, but when I first saw it, I was raged. I was annoyed that he'd even thought about having this conversation with, Sky Sports Italia. It didn't make no sense to me for not only us, but for the manager, etc., etc. And then I read the transcript, I watched the video, and yes, Fabrizio Romano did maybe make it look a little bit worse with certain words in how he presented it. But when you actually read it, the main thing for me is that he does still moan about the system and not liking the system. And that's what's bothering me. There's nothing else. But that's what people don't get. All these people that are defending Lukaku on social media are not understanding that. And again, yeah, but he's not talking about Tuchel directly. So why it doesn't have to. He doesn't have to say Thomas Tuchel is playing this system. Like, come on, where's your brains? He's saying he doesn't like the system that Tuchel's chosen for him to play in, and he doesn't agree with it. What more? Honestly, what more does one have to say to kind of go against what Thomas Tuchel's doing? I'll ask you in a second. Just quickly, Rodrigo says 3 weeks ago makes it even worse. So at the time of the interview, he was Chelsea for like 2 months, and he's talking about systems already. Exactly, and that was the other thing. He's been here 2 minutes, Lawrence. Like, how do you feel about it? Are you on the side of it doesn't really bother you, or are you bothered with what he said?
Oh, it definitely bothers me. It definitely bothers me. But I'm not at a point where I'm like, he can never play for Chelsea again and he needs to be sold right now.
No.
Because something I can't even lie. I knew Drogba said some dodgy things early in his career, but only with this whole debacle about Lukaku coming out did I actually read what Drogba said back then. Drogba said way worse things and is now considered one of our greatest ever players. So this doesn't necessarily have to be the end. But there's a few things I just don't get about it. Number one, do I necessarily have a problem that he slightly questions the system? No. I would expect any leader, any experienced players, if they think they have a different approach that might work and suit especially their own play style a bit better, to at least, approach that to the manager and like talk about it. Like I would expect Thiago Silva to do so. I would expect Jorginho to do so. Maybe not Kante because he's a bit timid and shy.
Yeah, that's fine.
Exactly. But the problem is he decided to talk to the media. And in his interview with the media, he said, I will talk to Tuchel about it. So he decided and he thought it was a good idea to speak to media about it before he ever spoke to the manager about it, which is like the stupidest thing I've ever heard. And to top it off, with media from the country, you just left to join Chelsea. And I get the whole idea apologizing to Inter fans. I personally, I'm not sure about you, Jem, but I personally don't have that much of a problem with that he still loves Inter. Like, I made that example yesterday, that analogy, like you love your mum and your dad. Like, I'm not that bothered. Do you know what I mean? Like, Hazard always wanted to go to Real Madrid. Doesn't mean he doesn't love Chelsea all of a sudden. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like, that the one thing doesn't change the other. Do you know what I mean? But the stupidity of saying what he said before ever talking to the manager, at least I'm going to take Tuchel's word for it, that Lukaku hasn't said this to him. Even if Lukaku said they had chats and conversations recently, he said that after the Villa game, which is good. But Tuchel said he's never been told about any specific frustrations or whatever. And I'm going to take Tuchel's word for it for the time being, at least, because that's all I can go by, right? But there's a few things. I mean, Rodrigo mentioned it there in the super chat. 3 weeks ago, apparently it was the day or a couple of days after the Man United game, which obviously we drew 1-1 and was I think his second game coming back from injury. It was the second time he was subbed on after injury. So essentially, he was complaining about the system when he's had 2 15-minute sub appearances at that. And before that, he was out for 2 months. So why are you complaining about a system that you haven't played in? And also, less than a week before you get this interview, we beat Juventus 4-0 and you're complaining about the system?
Yeah, it makes no, that's what I'm saying. For people to say that Chelsea fans, for the Chelsea fans that say that Chelsea fans can't have the ump about it, they're wrong. There's no way in hell that you can tell a Chelsea fan not to be annoyed about this. But at the same time, I don't blame the ones that are, if the ones that are sitting on the fence with it, just saying, he hasn't said anything bad, he never called anyone out, this, that, and the other. If that's how they feel about it, again, I'm cool with it. But my thing is, if someone wants to feel differently to this situation, I feel like there's no real right or wrong answer to this. It's how you feel about it. And at the end of the day, Piers has come out here and said Chelsea are frustrated with the timing of the interview. It's caught Chelsea by surprise, and even Romelu Lukaku's representatives, Lukaku organised it with journalists by himself. So you're telling what makes that for me? And I know there's more coming out as we speak at the moment, but that for me just makes it even worse. You've gone.
Exactly. You see yesterday, by the way, yesterday, but a couple of days ago, his agent came out and said, we never had any doubts about this move. We're super happy about going to Chelsea. And that, to me, underlines the fact that even his agent didn't have any idea of what he said in this interview.
Yeah.
Like, it's baffling, honestly.
Why has he gone and done that? And that's my point. It's unprofessional. And at the end of the day, why I am so angry with it is that he could have gone and had that interview. No problem. He owed it, Inter Milan, the fans, the words, whatever. I don't really give two fucks what he actually thinks or feels about the guys in Italy. What annoys me is that you've gone there and you've used certain things about this football club that you shouldn't have. You've said certain things about this football club that you shouldn't have said, and you've said it to a media company that full well are going to end up throwing it back out there, whether or not they've made it worse or not. It's going to be used against you. Yeah. And on top of that, you're telling me that no one knew about it. Yeah. Like, come on. Like, how many wrong things is there in one that you, like, do you know what I mean?
It's crazy. There's so many things
like that.
Exactly. You can't even think about all the things we would need to talk about here, because Sosa in the chat said here, he would have never said that if it was Conte. And you're an expert. You're an expert, Jem. He tweeted £100 million and not media trained. That's my response to what Sosa said here. There's two differences. You can say he didn't have to say it wasn't because of Conte, but he could have just avoided the question when being asked.
Yes, like, it's the way of answering it.
Professional footballers are
Yeah,
taught how to avoid questions when they need to,
questions.
and he could have done, but he didn't.
He chose not to, and that's why I think I'm more angry with it as well. He's actually kind of just answered it, maybe too honestly. Let's be honest. We know the system's not working. Yeah, we know it. We're not stupid. We know that certain things are not happening. But go and talk
But
to your
again, when he said it, we had just battered Juve 4-0.
Yeah,
So
that's
now
true.
it isn't working. When he said it, it was working perfectly well.
Yeah, and obviously then we wake up this morning and I look at my phone. I'm getting tagged in loads of more things coming through the door. And then we start hearing more about his love for Italy and things like, I'm always thinking about Milano, Milano, Milano. Inter fans are the best in the world. I love the city. And the best moment of my career was at Inter. I'm in love with Italy. I have Inter in my heart. I mean, what do you take from that?
I mean, I'm also in love with Italy. I love the place. I mean, but like I said, personally, and I know obviously I had Pice on my stream yesterday about this, and Pice was more infuriated, at least at the time. I'm sure that has changed by now, but at least at the time, he was more infuriated about him talking about, oh, I want to go back to Inter at some point, and it's before, I'm super old. I still want to be like at a high level, blah, blah, blah. Personally, for me, that isn't a significant problem. There's a few things I didn't like about what came out this morning, especially. One, when he was asked about Lautaro Martinez, I'm like,
Yeah, we're going to get to that, actually. Yeah, let's
okay.
go to that.
Basically speaking him up, saying he's the best player he's ever played with, essentially, and he would die with him, for him on the pitch. But then he was asked like, "Oh, could you team up with Chelsea?" type thing, and he's like, "No, stay at Inter. I'll be back." I'm like, "Come on, man!" And also he said something like, "Inter, like they have the best people in the world." I'm like, "That's nothing wrong with saying that, but you saying that while you're at a different club means you think the people at Chelsea are not the best." Because there can't be two best. There can only be one best. There can't be two. It's impossible. But
it's
yeah,
right.
no, that's exactly what I said.
It's right there. Yeah, I miss Lautaro for Lauti. I could die for him on the pitch together at Chelsea. No, stay at Inter because I'll be back. Playing with Lautaro playing with Lautaro to me was the best for day one. I understand that we can do great things there. There was a natural understanding between us. Okay, like again, I don't care. Like you remember when he first came to Chelsea, right? And you'll probably remember this. There was a lot of Chelsea fans that were saying, like, he's got Chelsea blood, and he's wanted this move, this, that, and the other, and he'll Chelsea is his number one, this, that, and the other. The way the guy's talking to me here, and the way he's explaining Italy and this, that, and the other, tells me that he's got more love for Italy. The way he's talking about Inter Milan,
kept his apartment in Milan, apparently.
Yeah, like I'm not joking. Like I feel like, again, I can't knock him for feeling the way he feels to that team. Fair enough. He won his first ever major trophy there. Do you know what I mean? And there's probably that connection with the football club. I get that. That's not a problem. But like when you're saying things like together at Chelsea, no, stay there. I'm coming. It's like to say I'm coming back. Like just stay there.
Especially like that sounds like it's soon. Initially when the quotes came out yesterday, I was like, yeah, maybe he's just very self-confident, sees himself like the next Thiago Silva or Zlatan or whatever, and he's like, yeah, I'm still at a high level when I'm 34, 33, whatever, and he wants to leave in like 4 years. And I'm like, fair enough. I don't have a problem with that if you plan to leave in like 4 or 5 years. In 4 years, you got a 5-year contract, you want to leave in 4 years, we still get another 50 million back for you or something like that. So everybody's happy. So that's fine. But then saying like, he's the best, basically. And then, so he doesn't care enough about being better at Chelsea that he wants whoever who is apparently the best with him to come to Chelsea to make him the best at Chelsea. That's what I take from him talking about Lautaro Martinez here, because I'm like, okay, so you're saying he's the guy that you're best with, but you don't want him to come to Chelsea. So do you not want to be your best at Chelsea? Because why else would you not want him to come here then?
Yeah, because he's thinking about going back there. Like it confuses me massively. I mean, Johnny here says Lukaku was never a Tuchel signing. He has to go. He has to go, not Tuchel. I heard this is such. Do you know what? What a few me more than anything as well is that Tuchel is in a sticky point at the moment with the squad, with the injuries, with the recent form. Not getting the wins that we need in certain games. A lot of pressure on him at the moment. He said it this morning himself. It's just unneeded attention. Like he doesn't need it right now. He's got enough going on as it is at the moment. Doesn't need it, and I just feel like Lukaku's just bought a ton of shit on him. And Not to say that our ball's going to react to it and go, oh, actually, you know, player power again. Let's get rid of the manager just because we can't get rid of a 100 million buyer. Like, I'm not saying that, but you know, I don't want any added pressure on this manager. This manager just needs to be left alone right now to try and suss out what he needs to do to get things done. And I trust Tuchel and I like Tuchel. Now, the worst thing that Chelsea Football Club could do right now is lose this manager. For me personally, like, I think this manager is more important than the players right now. I don't know how you feel about it, but I think he's that good of a manager. He's a manager that I don't think we've had in terms of the way he manages them. Like, everything for me about him, I just think he's the kind of manager that you hope that we'd have for a long time. And if the ball did make that decision to get rid of him because certain players turned against him, for example, and we lost him, I would be fuming. Because where would we go next? Where would we go next? What would we do? Who's out there? Do you know what I mean? Like, that's what annoys me more of it all as well, because it kind of fuels more pressure on Tuchel without not realising it. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly that. And yeah, of course. And people, yeah, it is a little bit of a fair point. Sure. If the interview was released, say the day after it was recorded at the time, yeah, I know we had just drawn to Man United, but essentially things were still good. I'm pretty sure we were still top of the league at the time, maybe 1 point off and second, but still, you know, everything was still good. And yes, then it wouldn't have caused the waves it has caused now. But that doesn't take away from the fact that it was still stupid to say. And it just triggers me. And like you say there, the fear I have is that there's a big difference in between having a problem with, like Rudiger had with Lampard at the times, if you want Rudiger as the example, even though I don't think Rudiger was the big problem here at the time. Rudiger at the time was our 5th choice centre-back. What would we have gotten for him in the market? Like 40 million, something like that. Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah. Worth a good bit of money. But now we're talking about £100 million striker. And at the same time, potentially losing 3 centre-backs. And in Aspie as both the centre-back and the wing-back option. So I love Tuchel and I want us to stick with him, but I'm a bit worried that it's a bit like if we fully back him and get rid of everyone that questions him, that's almost too much to fix in one window. And then we have to sit here for another 2 years that we can talk about winning the Premier League again.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to find this comment. It's this one as well, where he's talking about Real Madrid, Barcelona, and Bayern being the absolute best 3 clubs in football. Any player would dream of them, which is fair enough. And then he says, and so I thought that I could make history at Inter with the new, with that new contract, and then go to one of them. So he never had the real mindset of coming to Chelsea. He just thought he might be able to have a very good season at Inter, and then maybe move on to a Real Madrid or a Barcelona or a Bayern. Again, is there much to look into that? I mean, it doesn't make him look bad, does it? To be honest, that was just, again, preference of club that he wanted at the time. But, you know, the fact that we did come knocking, to be fair to him, he did actually say in one of these comments here that the only other club that could maybe turn his head was Chelsea, which he did. But then he also spoke about an extension. Like, apparently he asked for an extension. They didn't give it to him. And
he quite literally specified, had they accepted that extension, we would have been doing this interview in Milan, not in London.
Yeah. So basically, he wouldn't have came to Chelsea then. So my thing is,
that's the bad one for me today.
Yeah, where is that actually? The extension one. Was it with Fede? I can't.
I think it was, but a bit lower down.
No, so he's a rival. There's so many comments, isn't there? It's just so much going on, mate. Is it this one? I had a new contract. No, this is about wanting a new contract. They wouldn't give him a new contract, which we knew at the time because they had implications with finances, didn't they, in the Milan? If you remember, we were talking about it. It's here, isn't it? Yeah, this is the one. Had Conte stayed, would I have stayed? No. The only thing was my contract extension had Inter accepted it. We would be doing this interview in London, but it would be in Milan. It would have been in Milan. I knew there was a chance to win with Inzaghi too.
Did you see, by the way, the comments from the Inter, I don't know, president, director, whatever he is, I don't know, but essentially saying we got 150 million euro, 15 million euros for Lukaku and got Dzeko
Yeah.
for free and on the pitch. There's no difference.
I know that after him picking them all up and his love forever, he's just got absolutely ripped.
Absolutely bad. And did the Inter fans not hang one up, a banner today, like literally after the quotes came out yesterday? I think they hung up a banner that said something along the lines of, wait, I'll find it and I'll read it out to you, because definitely I've seen it earlier, so I must find it.
Johnny says, you think Roman is happy hearing Lukaku talk about his club, like after he invested 100 million when he wanted Haaland? Oh, Johnny, I love Johnny, man. He cracks you up.
I'm not sure if I can find it, but they said essentially something like, it matters who stays through the storm and not, who talks after, something like that. I'm trying to find it so I don't misquote.
The only reason Lukaku signed for Chelsea is because Inter couldn't afford to keep him. End of. No fairy tale, just money driven. If Inter had the funds, he stays, and we don't buy a striker. And do you know what? I think you're probably right. I think he probably would have stayed. Now reading all of this and listening to his comments about it all at the time, you're probably right. It's just disappointing, isn't it? He's our world record breaking signing. You bought him in for 100 million. You're expecting him to lead us for the next couple of years, be the man that we hope he can become at Chelsea. And within a couple of months, he's sitting there talking about, half-heartedly coming to this football club. His heart was not always there. If he was given this, he probably would have stayed in Italy. He's not happy with the system, that we're playing currently at the moment. And like, it's just all wrong, Lorenz. Do you know what I mean? Everything about it is for me. And it's not one person. I've had so many people trying to change my mind to this. There's not one person out there that can change my mind from the detail that I'm going, that I'm annoyed about, because it's facts.
Yeah, completely.
It's facts, 100 people here, guys. Smash the like button, please. Subscribe if you're new to the channel. Go and follow Lorenz as well. Lorenz's channel is his name. So literally, just write his name in, and you can follow him as well.
I did actually find the banner that they hung up this morning, and it says, obviously in Italian, but translated, it doesn't matter who runs away in the rain, it counts who stays in the storm. Ciao Romelu, or bye Romelu, whatever.
Ciao,
do you know what I mean?
Romelu,
So the whole idea of this interview, that he, like we touched on earlier, I think, organized himself without even his own representative knowing about it. The whole idea was to appease Inter fans and to calm whatever problems they had with him. Obviously, they had a banner already when he left, when at the time it said, there was a different one, but anyway, he tried to appease them and probably didn't try to piss us off. In the end, he didn't appease them. They're still pissed off, and now we're also pissed off. So Romelu, well done, lad. Do you know what I mean? I thought you were more intelligent than that. I honestly did.
It is also meant to be a match preview for the Chelsea Liverpool game. So I didn't want to spend too long on this because, to be honest, we've been speaking about it. I mean, it's been going on all night, all yesterday as well. I know you guys have covered it as well. I've heard enough. I've made my. I know where I lay with this. I'm sure you feel the same. Can I ask you though,
because I haven't realized from you now. So do you think this is basically the end for him, or do you think there is a way back from this, or do you think it's now either Tuchel or Lukaku? It can only be one.
I think that we're in a really sticky situation, in that you've got a manager that all the fans actually love. I think it makes it easier when there's a manager that you don't like and the player says something, because it's easier to take the side of the player. But there's a point of where the manager is heavily backed, but at the same time, you've just got and bought this player for 100 million, who's only been here 2 minutes. I think it will blow over. I think Tuchel and Lukaku will sit, maybe even the board will sit and discuss it and how to move forward. We have to move forward, but we have too much football coming in. I was on the terrace yesterday and I was a little bit overheated, and I said something a bit stupid on there, which I regret to a degree, but I turned around and said that we should drop him. Like, I don't want him on the pitch. Like I was that angry when I first read it, that he'd even done that, especially on the back of travelling to the Brighton game, which I'd went to as well and watched that performance. I was just still not in in a good mood. And then we had this come up as well, and I was just so hit for six with it. And then I sort of, sat back and still angry about what he said, and I still think what he's done is unprofessional and wrong. At the same time, we're in a situation where he is going to be our player till the end of this season. Could he go? Potentially. I wouldn't cross it. Maybe maybe it doesn't get better. Maybe Tuchel doesn't change the system. Maybe Lukaku doesn't feel home at Chelsea. Maybe the Chelsea fans don't feel home with him. I don't know from this point onwards. But I think at this moment in time, we've just all got to pull together and get through it, including him, and just get on with it. And he for me seriously has to put in some big performances. And I'm talking about Liverpool's, Man City's. He needs to really step up and be the difference and show us that he wants to fight for this club. I mean, how do you feel about it?
I agree. I mean, I'll give you a segue when I'm done, so you can perfectly lead this into talking about doing the preview.
Yeah,
but for me, we need to hope that Tuchel can fix this and that Lukaku realizes that he's messed up. I still want, and I tweeted this, I can't remember if earlier or yesterday, but I tweeted, regardless of how badly you take it, because clearly there's some Chelsea fans that don't take it as badly and some that took it worse. But I think everyone I've seen at least can agree that it was a bit stupid to do it in the media and to do it when he did. And especially to agree to an interview and agree for them to release it when they see fit and not release it straight away, because that is always dodgy, right?
Yeah.
So that I have that hope, and like I touched on when I initially joined, Drogba said bad things. Diego Costa tried to leave every summer he was here for, and still we love him. Do you know what I mean? Like,
but it was different then.
It doesn't necessarily have to be the end. Go on, sorry.
It was different then because you didn't have social media. It was all in the papers back then. 2004, we wasn't sitting on Twitter talking about what Drogba said. It's completely two different generations now. If Drogba had said what he said now, he'd be crucified as well. Especially in that first season.
He literally said, immediately when I joined, I was disgusted. Something is wrong at this club. Like, what? Sorry? Like, I didn't, like I said, I didn't know the exact details of the quotes at the time. I'm like, this is the most baffling thing I've genuinely ever seen. The only positive or useful thing I thought Lukaku said in this is that when he said, like, his teammates provoked him on the pitch at Inter, like Brozovic and a few others. They kept provoking him, and that kind of almost made him play better. I mean, that's the only useful thing. I hope the other Chelsea players see that part and start provoking him on the pitch all the time, because I don't want you to be best mates if he needs to be provoked. Fair enough, gone then. But, and as my last question, you said we have to start him, but do you think he will start against Liverpool?
It's weird because you listen to what Tuchel said in the press conference, and he was as of the thing of, Lukaku's not really showed us what he's been saying to the media. Like we thought he was okay. He's just been getting on with it, playing the game, doing his thing. It makes it hard. I think because Havertz is fit now, it does give him an option to say, do you know what, we're going to fine you and we're going to punish you. We could, and they could do that, and I would respect it. Yeah, it might heavily F us up in the Premier League, no doubt, because we need to win games, we need to score goals. But I can see it happening, and if it did happen, would I be against it? No. But at the same time, would I be against him starting against Liverpool? No. Starting, but if he starts, he has to show it. He has to have a colossus game for me. He really has to step up. So what about you? It's hard, isn't it? It's just
I think he will start, but I think if we didn't have a full squad, or if we did have a full squad, say, because Havertz hasn't played since he got injured against West Ham. So, like, just throwing Havertz in tomorrow against Liverpool is not really an option. Timo isn't even back yet, so our only other option is playing Pulisic up front again. And we've learned that's not what we want to do if we want to win a game, right? So, for that reason, I think he will start, depending on, because Tuchel did say in his press conference, he will talk to him about it. And I'm sure those talks will lead to something. And they will either lead to Tuchel saying, well, all right, I'm your boss. You need to accept what I'm doing, what I'm saying, or you're benched. And then depending on how Lukaku reacts to that, I think he's going to either start or be benched. But I think most likely he will start. But also, like I said, because we don't really have any other options at the moment. I mean, sorry if you don't want me to talk about your chat so much, but Global had said something in the chat, and he also said that in my stream yesterday, when he keeps talking about that Haaland coach Chelsea, a small club. I'm not saying you're wrong, Global, but from my memory and from my recollection, the only thing I remember about Haaland or anything around Haaland talking about Chelsea not being a big club is Mino Raiola talking about which clubs he could go to next summer and not mentioning Chelsea. And then Mino Raiola, like a few hours or days later, the quote actually came out. Oh, and of course, I also include like Chelsea and these clubs. He never included Man United, which I found funny. But so that included. But I don't have a memory of Haaland ever saying and me ever reading that Haaland coached Chelsea a small club. Because didn't Haaland say, obviously at the time we still had Lampard, didn't he ever say the manager would love to play under the most is Lampard? Didn't he say that?
No, Haaland.
That's why he said that.
No, I don't.
Like super early, like not last summer, but like earlier.
Did he?
I thought so, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, you could be right. I remember him saying something like that, but I can't actually fully remember if it was how it was said, to be honest. But yeah, it's no, I do hear. I'm just quickly going through the comments. There was one here from Big Runners and Man United fans. It's being devil's advocate. Should it be held against a player if he's honest and speaks his mind? Yes, is my answer to that, because he is like me and Lorenzo already said. He's media trained. He should know how to steer away from certain questions. Not to say that he couldn't have the interview. The interview's not a problem. If he wanted to have the interview and talk about Inter Milan and he feels like he owes them words that he's not been able to give them before he left, fine. I have no issue with him doing that. And if they want to talk about Chelsea, talk about Chelsea. Talk about, they could have even asked him that question and he could have still reverted around it, Lorenzo. He could have answered it in a different way. He could have just said, yeah, we're in a bit of a sticky period at the moment. I've not played much football yet, with the club with my injuries and my COVID. Still adapting to this system. I'm still learning to work with this. Yeah, do you know what I mean? Like, there's ways that he could have just got around.
He could have just mostly blamed his own injury.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? There were so many different ways he could have said it, but then just to go, Tuchel chose to play this system, which I'm not happy about. Like, it's being honest and it's being too honest, and you're saying it to media company. Like, come on. Like, I'm sorry, that's too honest, is my point. You can't do that. You can't do that.
Honesty, for me, the honesty is good. Speaking his mind is good. But the important part is who he's honest to and who he's speaking his mind to.
Yeah.
Speaking it to Tuchel, being honest to Tuchel, boss, gaffer, I think if we played a slightly different system, I could be playing better. And then whatever Tuchel's response is to that, you need to deal with it. He's your boss. Accept it. You're currently 28. When you're 40, you can be a manager yourself, and then you can do that to players yourself. If you're as good of a manager as Tuchel is, then you can do that. But right now, you're still a player. Still a player. That's what you are. So if the manager has the decision, deal with it, right? Obviously, who knows what he meant by the manager chose to play a different system, module, whatever translation you would like to use, because there's been 17 different ones, what feels like. But I don't know if he means by that in the summer when they initially spoke, Tuchel told him he was going to do different things than he actually is doing at the moment. I don't know. But none of that needs to be discussed in the media. And even more so, needs to be discussed, and I don't like to use the word foreign, but foreign media, where it needs translation. Like, has Ronaldo done interviews with Italian media? Has Ronaldo even done Spanish interviews with Spanish media when he left Madrid? But he was there for 10 years and is like literally Real Madrid's greatest ever player. Do you know what I mean? Like, that would be something. Lukaku was only at Inter for 2 years. The fact that he felt the time to speak about, like you said a minute ago, speaking only about Inter, no problem whatsoever. Do what you want to do. Fair enough. Hey, no problem with that. But when he starts talking about Chelsea, about Tuchel, in an interview with Italian media, where he knows full well translations are going to be either wrong, or translations are going to be blown out of proportion, or translations are going to be, or he just said it as badly as it is. But, like, I just don't understand why he would ever come to that conclusion. The only thing I would say, by the way, just one last thing about this honesty thing. They can all be honest. But unless he lost his Instagram password, he could be honest on his own Instagram. He doesn't need to talk to Italian media about it, because then he can pick and choose when it gets released. So if what we're going to praise him for, at least he was honest. Well, be honest on Instagram. You don't need to talk to media about it.
That's the big thing. And Look, there's a lot of Chelsea fans that are arguing with other Chelsea fans that feel the way maybe me and you feel about it, and this, but they need to understand it's the unprofessionalism of it and the timing of it and what was said, and yeah, but we want this in our football club, is what they're saying. We want people to say what they feel. He's being honest. He's got Chelsea at the best of his heart. He clearly hasn't, because for me, you don't moan about a system. And you know what? Someone did say this to me actually earlier on. They said part of the reason why he said a lot of that is if it does F up and we do start faltering down the table, it takes the pressure off him, of this £100 million striker that's come across. So he's just using it as an outlet to say, it's the manager, it's the system. We're not working. Saying it now. So a lot of people saying he's just protected himself from it, which is another way of looking at it. Yeah, you're mute. You're mute.
Yeah. I am sorry, bro. I said, but he protected himself while he was essentially still injured or had just come back from injury. Also, in this interview, saying he's physically completely fine, which I'm like, how? I saw you play against West Ham. You were not physically fine.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true.
You know what I mean?
It's true. I mean, Matt Law just said
super quickly. Sorry, I know you want to go into Liverpool just because of Rebecca said Matt Law said Lukaku's been an idiot. He did, but he also said Lukaku's been an idiot. I too have been an idiot. I'm hungover on New Year's Eve, so it was kind of joking, not fully serious.
Johnny, it's over 160 people here. Smash the likes, guys. I know we ain't got enough likes. I'm not even going to look. It's probably about 40 or 50 odd likes. Let's try and get this up to 100 likes. Please subscribe to the channel. Go and follow Lorenz as well. Lorenz Vescoli. Check him out. Rams has joined us as well. Johnny's saying, I think they've had that discussion and Tuchel won't change. That's why the 100 million fella came out like this. What does he mean by that? I don't know specifically what he's relating to, but yeah, must be talking to someone in the chat. But Ram, we are going to talk Chelsea Liverpool. Yeah, I want to get into it, but you're muted as well.
That's the most important thing.
Yeah, I don't really want to dwell too much because I am tired of talking about Romelu Lukaku bullshit, to be honest, right now. But we have got a game on Sunday, a game which you should be heavily confident in because of all the injuries that Chelsea currently have and all of the crap that's going on around our football club. And you have a fully fit squad. Let's get it right.
No, that's not true.
You got all your best players back. Van Dijk's playing. Fabinho was playing. You got
Alisson may have COVID. And Firmino may have COVID as well.
That's great news.
So this is what I've heard so far. Alisson, Thiago, Firmino, Origi, and Minamino are not in training.
Ooh.
Yeah, but
Origi and Minamino.
But it's Alisson, Thiago, and Firmino. That's the main
Thiago,
one.
Not even Thiago.
Hey, stop it, mate. Stop it. Thiago.
Poor man's Jorginho, bro.
No, can you? No. Why? How is he a flop when this season, when he's played, we've had 100% win percentage, 100% win percentage, but when we haven't played him, we've got like a 34% win percentage.
Well, does that just mean he's the next Pulisic and he's always injured, or?
Nah. He had COVID, innit? And I think
already.
I don't know why he had COVID. That's the second time he's had COVID
this season. Bloody hell!
Yeah,
flipping out. Hey.
Sorry,
I keep interrupting, boys.
That's right. So in terms of injuries on the Chelsea aspect, we know Reece James is out. Lorenz, 6 weeks of no Reece James. We obviously have no Ben Chilwell. We have no wing backs now, fullbacks potential. Our first instant fullbacks have gone. If you're Thomas Tuchel, the 3-4-3 is it needs these fullbacks, so we don't have them now, especially one of them at least. Do you maybe switch the system now?
I wouldn't, and I have actually an explanation for this. Because switching system means switching to a back four. The players we have available to play wing back are more wingers, so they're more suited to play wing backs than they are to play right back and left back. Because I mean, I found it very funny what Tuchel said after the last game. Was like, we don't have wing backs anymore. When Alonso is fully fit, so he doesn't even Tuchel doesn't think of Alonso as a wing back. So brilliant. But Alonso is certainly more of a wing back than he is a left back. So if we change formation, Alonso is playing left back and Aspie's playing right back. Do I want that against Salah and Mane? Absolutely no way. I'd rather Pulisic or Hudson-Odoi or any of these not playing wing back. you know, and at least try to be offensive. Or we just do a Mourinho, we just park that bus, make sure we keep a clean sheet, and maybe we nick one on the break. Hey, you know, we're screwed. We don't have a squad, right? So, you know, at some point you need to let us off. But I'm not sure if Tuchel is going to do that.
Yeah. I was at the game against Brighton, and we had Pulisic as right wing back and Alonso as left wing back, and by God, it was hard to watch. And I'm just thinking, who's going to play there? You know, like what options do we have to, if we are to stick with this system? And you got Aspie, but then we ain't got no Thiago Silva. Christensen's got a bad back, which means we need Aspie to go back into the right centre back role, probably with Chalobah in the middle. So are you going to be stuck?
We never found out whether Thiago and Christensen are back or not, did we?
Well, he didn't say, did he? He didn't. That's what we didn't hear much team news. Like they didn't really. They were just so fascinated with this Lukaku crap that it kind of just took it all away. But yeah, Christensen was obviously he's got this back injury. I don't know whether he's training or not. Thiago Silva, I heard, was meant to have been back for this game, but again, it wasn't brought up. It leaves us with a bit of a big question mark on our team. But Ram, in terms of Liverpool, obviously you lost against Leicester. Some of you Liverpool fans are saying that a loss to Leicester is the worst thing that Chelsea could have wanted because Liverpool are great at responding. Are you confident going into this game?
I mean, with the injuries that you have, a little bit, but looking at the injuries that we have, you can exploit us quite easily. Like, well, not injuries, the illnesses that we have, you can exploit us quite easily. I think Alisson not being there, look, I rate Quivin Kelleher as a young goalkeeper, but he's not at the level of Alisson, nowhere near. I think you can easily exploit his weaknesses. I think his handling's not as great, and he's not much of a sweeper keeper himself. Thiago's, we were all hoping, Liverpool fans were hoping he would be back for this game. If he was here, I think our chances of winning have just gone up tenfold because of how good the guy is. And look, that game against Leicester, the reason why we simply lost is because we didn't score a simple goal. If we scored a goal, it would have been 3 or 4-0. But we just couldn't put the ball in the back of the net. Jota didn't have a lot of clear-cut chances. A lot of them were headers that he had to reach for. Mane missed that gilt-edged opportunity. He should have tucked that away. And obviously, Salah missed that penalty. So it's just simple things like that. Just if the guys just get a goal, then it'll be good for us. But if you guys get the first goal, I am worried that we might not respond back to it. Seeing the quality of you guys still have around your team.
But
you do have at the moment, we need 2 goals to win a game.
Yeah, we do. Because we're conceding.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But it's just, I've seen it last season with our forwards. I mean, barring Jota, we struggle to score goals with just at times. So yeah, I expect us to win because we would have the stronger squad, even without Alisson. But I think it's going to be a close game. I really do. It's always going to be a close game when it's Liverpool versus Chelsea. Always will be.
I know Lorenzo's got a shoot as well, so I would like to get his thoughts quickly about the game and score prediction. But yeah, let us know.
Yeah, it's a tough one. I almost throw it over to Ram after me because for me, it's almost like, do we even care much about this game? Like, City's gone anyway.
You should.
Like City's gone anyway. I mean, Liverpool might see differently, but for us, we don't have Chilwell, we don't have Reece James. We're done. Our title hopes are done. It means that I want to win because as a one-off game, I always want to beat Liverpool. But in the grand scheme of things, does it matter other than making sure we still keep top 4? Not really. If I'm being totally honest, maybe I'm a bit negative with this whole injuries and Lukaku situation. Sure. I'm sure by the time we get to the game, I'll have a slightly different opinion. I'm sure. But
yeah,
that's kind of how I feel deep down at the moment. So it's a bit rough. So for me, it's almost like I want Tuchel to instill, like I said, a bit of that Jose mentality. He started it after the last game. It's like everything's against us. Like start that. Like get the vibe in the dressing room. Like everyone's against us, and like build this. Like we're gonna just go against everyone and somehow do it. And that's why I'm like, just park the bus if you need to, because what did Liverpool struggle with against Leicester? A team defending for their lives. That's what they couldn't break down.
No, I wouldn't say we struggled because we still made a lot of chances. We just didn't put the ball in the back of the net.
But not second half anymore, though. You didn't really have a lot of big chances second half. The longer the game went on, the more you struggled, I thought. Yeah,
maybe it's fatigue. Like, you know how whenever the game goes on, like mentally, you're like, what's the point? Why do we keep on doing it? We're just not gonna do anything with it. So I still think even if you played a low block, I still fancy us a little bit, because even when we saw teams play a low block, we saw against Burnley, we created so many chances, and we could have thrashed them 5-0, but again, clinical edge is just not there as it used to be.
I would hope though that we can defend better than Burnley, regardless of Burnley parking the ball.
Yeah, I mean, it's just an example. Yeah.
All right.
But well, Lorenz, score prediction before I'm going to dip. Sorry, if that's what you wanted from me. I'm going to be positive. I'm not 1,000,000% sure if I fully believe in myself saying that. I'm going to say 1-0 Chelsea. We've got nick one and then hope we keep a clean sheet for once. My totally honest prediction is 1-0, because that's just our result at home these days. We just play 1-0 against everyone. So, it's just, we don't even need to turn up, just play right down 1-1, we're fine. And obviously, I'm scared that we're going to lose, but, I'm going to go 1-0. We need to have some positivity, upwards and onwards, as they say. But, Jem, appreciate you for having me. Thank you, everyone that's watching. And smash the like for Jem and subscribe right now.
Thank you, bro.
Big yourself, and I'll see you boys soon. Take care.
See you later, Lorenz. Thank you for coming on as always, bro. Always welcome to the channel as well. Make sure you go and follow him as well. Lorenz Vescoli is his name. I'll put the link in the chat for you guys as well, so you can go and check his YouTube channel out as well. But big up, bro. I'll see you a bit later. Happy New Year as well. See you later.
You as well. Take care, boys.
Take care. Bye-bye. Right, declared with the comment here says Happy New Aussie New Year, everyone. Yeah, because it's New Year's Day there, isn't it? So big up to you, declared as well. Happy New Year to you, brother. There's over 180 of you here. We're going to do a FIFA squad builder. We're going to do, because I do a usual Chelsea one where I put the Chelsea players in, and I need to do that. But we will do a combined one based on now, and then we'll do a Chelsea one for everyone in the chat as well. So we'll get a bit of both in there for you guys as well. No problem. But yeah, it's looking peak. There's a lot of pressure on Chelsea at the moment. From our perspective, how do we beat Liverpool? I think we have to be aggressive. I don't think we can play low block. I do think if we allow you to dominate the game, especially with your wing backs and with Salah as well, and even Mane to a degree.
If you play a 5-back, like a typical 5-back, where you have your wing backs playing literally as 4-backs, you're going to get smoked, because the likes of Trent and Robbo like to whip it in from deep, and give them that half spaces in between your six, your holding six, and your wing back. It'll be through what's it called?
No, that's what I'm saying. We need to implement ourselves on you more, because like Sosa said here, like stopping the crosses, you know that you're going to have to stop Trent. Do you know what I mean? Like, you cannot allow this guy to get the ball and have time on the ball. And what worries me is we've got Alonso out there, trying, and that worries me.
Tottenham gave Trent and Robbo space to cross it in, and as a result,
Robbo's not playing, is he? He misses his game.
But it's Tsimikas. And I think Robbo is good at when the ball's moving and he gets to whip it in like that. I think he's best at that. But Tsimikas, when he stops the ball, looks up and whips it in, he's a lot better than Robbo, in my opinion. So that's sort of where you're going to play. If you're going to not press them, Tsimikas and Trent are just going to have field days whipping it in. And their quality whipping in as well is just going to be, it's going to be very good.
Yeah, I agree. Guys, we will open up the lines. I will get you in as well, get you involved in the chat. We're going to quickly do a FIFA squad builder on a 4-3-3, but that kind of works in your favour, doesn't it? Because you play 4-3-3.
Yeah.
In fairness, we should actually do our formation, because we've got the more injuries. You guys have got the more players at the moment. That's what I would say.
I mean,
at least be a bit fair for us. Yeah, I mean,
you got a load of injuries at the back, so 4-3-3 would be best for you, no? Like you still got your midfielders and your forwards, so it's mainly
All right.
the back.
Okay, all right. We'll do that. Allison has got COVID and is missing this game.
Yeah,
I told you
apparently.
disappointed, so that is true. I've just read that
Yeah.
just now.
I've read he wasn't in training, so
That's
I
a
don't
big
think he's
miss.
playing.
That is a
That
big
is
miss.
a massive
Um,
miss.
And that gives Lukaku and other of our forwards the opportunity to now maybe take some shots, hopefully, at goals.
Yeah.
So on that basis, I'm going to pick Mendy. I'm sure you're not going to disagree with me.
Mendy's go. Like I like Quivine. Quivine's great, but he's young and he's just not at Mendy's level. Nowhere near Mendy's level yet.
That's fair enough. I both agree. So, guys, we're doing a combined, and then we'll do a Chelsea one straight after as well. Don't worry, we'll get you involved as well. But left back, I mean, Alonso's not a left back. I can't even argue it. So, how do you spell this guy's name? Tsimikas.
Yeah, there he is. Yeah.
All right, we've got Tsimikas there. I'm putting Trent in because again, I'm not even debating it. I can't even argue. It's not happening. Our right back got out for 6 weeks.
Luckily, it ain't 4 months because Kesh put it on the group chat. It was 4 months, and I was like, "Damn,
6 weeks.
6 weeks. 6 weeks. That's
Still
at
6
least
weeks,
that's decent."
Well, he should be back for Champions League. I would say maybe around that period. Yeah,
the second leg probably. The second leg definitely. I think.
Yeah. Thiago Silva, I was told is back, but obviously Tuchel didn't really say much in the press conference today about players out, in, etc., etc. So we can ignore the fact that maybe Silva isn't fit and throw VVD in and Rudiger.
I want to put up this comment from Declared.
What's he saying?
Is about our team with COVID. This is what I don't get. Because one of our players has COVID, surely the other players who hang around him, because Alisson's the kind of guy that hangs around with everyone in the squad, because he's just one of those guys. Surely our players may have the variant inside of them, and when they go out to play, surely that could spread to the Chelsea camp as well. You know what I mean?
But this is the thing, isn't it? It's not even just with the Chelsea game; it's with football in general. Like, how many people did Chelsea have out? We lost 6 players, and we still played. Do you know what I mean? And you ask the question like, how is it not spread? How is it not? That's why they're doing these quick, rapid tests every day,
which then don't even work that well because I took a couple of them and they turned out to be negative. Did a PCR? I got one that's positive. So it's just I don't know, man. I really don't know.
Rudiger and VVD, fair enough. I'd probably say.
I need to ask the question. Yeah, you know that challenge against Brighton, against Lamptey. Were you a little bit like? Damn, you didn't need to do that.
He's rash. He is rash. He's always had that in him. You know, that's just a part of the way Rudiger plays the game. Not to say that he can't defend, because he can defend very, very well. He has defended very well this season as well. So, you know, I think if it isn't him, if Silva's fit, it would be Silva for me anyway. That would be in there. But the fact that Silva's not there, I'm going to say Rudiger. I know you got Matip, but I still think Rudiger's been. I think you can agree he's been very good at Chelsea.
It's difficult. I don't like Rudiger's rashness. I really don't. I don't like it.
You can't not have Rudiger in that team. I'm sorry.
I mean, if you have Matip, you can.
There's a chance that Chelsea versus Liverpool might not go ahead.
Imagine that for Terry, because he bigged it up saying the first ever watch along on the terrace at the studio is this match, and it gets cancelled. It gets postponed. That's gonna be funny.
This could be called off, man. We're doing a preview to it, but we just have to
for absolutely nothing. Exactly.
Right. We had to talk about Lukaku anyway, so it's afternoon, Simon.
Afternoon.
All right, let's move on, because that's the back 4-5. I'd say midfield. For
Fabinho,
me,
Kante,
Kante
and Fabinho. Imagine that, having Kante and Fabinho, you are not conceding a single goal.
I'm not going to argue. I think Kovacic has to be in here as well. You know that. I do think he's that good at the moment. He has been that good this season.
Mean, I would have backed it for Thiago, but he's injured, so he ain't playing. and Fabinho. It's only Fabinho. I think Hendo. If you told me this a month ago, I would have vouched for Hendo because he's been playing well like during November. But now he's a little bit on and off. Like he's just a bit inconsistent. Maybe because the balance in midfield ain't that great. Oh yeah, and by the way, Naby Keita's injured as well. Apparently, I just saw Naby Keita wasn't in training. Also, was not in training. So,
all right. So that leaves us what with 4 and 4 at the moment. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, that's fair enough. I think that's fair. Kante, Kovacic, and Fabinho based on all the injuries that we've all got anyway. And then we move to the midfield. We move to the forward line. Obviously, Salah's is not.
Salah, and I'd say Salah and Jota.
Lukaku plays up front, even though he's pissed me off. But then, what do you think? Do you think Jota over Lukaku?
I mean, the thing is, right? It's the same thing with the Leicester one. Jota's been playing as a striker. I can't put him as a left winger because he didn't play left wing this season. He's playing as a striker. So I see him as a striker.
You can't play Lukaku there, though, can you? He has to play. Lukaku's played well the last 2 games as well since he's come back in. This is shit.
Or do you want Mount on the left? The thing is, I saw Johnny in the comments. We'll put Mount in just for him.
Is Johnny even here still?
If he's not here still, then yeah, screw that. Just don't put him in.
Oh, you're not even putting Mane in. Mane's been out of full minute, to be fair.
Mane's been out of form for. I'll tell you what. Barring a Tottenham game was actually quite decent. Like he was very direct at their full back and their centre back. Barring that game, he hasn't been playing that great. But I think it's because Jota's been sort of bailing him out.
There you go, people. Yeah,
but you have to put Jota in that team though. Bruv, Lukaku disrespected you, man. Can you really forgive him?
He's still an out-and-out striker, though, isn't he?
I know he's an out-and-out striker, but Jota's been playing striker. I can't put Jota on the left. I can't do it.
That means he can't get in front of Lukaku, though.
What do you mean? Jota's the second highest goal scorer in the Prem.
Is he at the moment?
Yeah, he's got 10 goals.
All right. Let's take Lukaku out. Jota it is.
Like if he was playing on the left like half the time, I'll put him on the left. But he's been playing as a striker predominantly. I can't put him.
5 goals, I think it is 5 or 6.
Yeah,
goals.
I feel like let me get it up. I think Lukaku's got about 4, 5. Yeah, he's got 5 goals. Yeah, Jota's got double that.
All right, fair enough. I can't argue it. If he's got more goals in him, and that's what you ask your goal scorers to do, then he did have COVID and injuries, but fair enough. We can't argue it at the end of the day. It is what it is. There you go. Mendy, Tsimikas, Virgil van Dijk, Rudiger, Trent, Kante, Fabinho, Kovacic, Mount, Jota, Salah is the combined Chelsea 11 on GNA TV today, guys.
Bearing in mind, we put in Mount. We put in Mount for Johnny. That's all. We put in Mount for Johnny.
Mount in for Johnny, man. Minerals. Drop Trent for James. He's injured, Leslie. We can't add players in that are injured. Yeah, as well.
That's why we didn't put Thiago in.
I mean, Thiago, I wouldn't get in with me anyway. But
stop it, Joe.
He's not good enough.
Yeah.
At least you didn't mention Konate today. That's another thing.
Look, I still maintain it, man. Konate is one of the best young centre backs in the world.
All right, we're going to do a Chelsea one because I always do a Chelsea one for these guys as well. We do a quick Chelsea one, how I think we're going to line up. And we're going to open up the lines, guys. Get involved. Have your say. I'll quickly fly through it. It's going to be Mendy in goal for me. Rudiger as left centre-back. I think you will see Chalobah play here if Thiago Silva's not fit, which again we just don't know. I'm just going on what we know from now. I think we'll have Aspie at the back. We've got no choice.
Who's playing right back? Right wing back?
Oh, I don't, man. This is where it gets shit. It really don't do. I think it's going to be Pulisic again, which is just... Pulisic is
Wow.
going to be up and down the wing. Pulisic, if he can keep Tsimikas going the other way rather than this way, but that means we've got to have more of the ball. You know, we're going to have to dominate the ball.
Tsimikas is just gonna kick him. Like Tsimikas is one of those guys where if you're gonna try and get past him, he's gonna kick you. Like he's gonna actually clot you. So he's gonna have one hell of a time. I tell you that. But if he can get in between those spaces, I think he's gonna have a field day. But we'll see.
Yeah, it could happen. That definitely could happen. Midfield, I'm going with N'Golo Kante and
Jorginho.
It's got to be Jorginho, isn't it? It's got to be, but
is Kante fit?
Yeah,
because it was taken off. It was brought on.
Yeah, he played. He played against Brighton. He came on later.
Someone's saying put Saul there.
I think Lukaku will start, even though all this crap that's going on with him at the moment. I think Mason Mount will play as well.
Man's been playing on the right. I thought he's been playing on the left.
Been playing on the right, and then on the left. See, what I would prefer to have is this. I want Pulisic back in his position. Then we have no one that can play there. But I'm trying to think: is there anyone? Like,
you could put Aspie there, then bring in Malang Sarr and centre back.
Fucking hell, that has made me feel sick.
But that balance and balance in defense is out of the window. It's just.
I'd actually prefer to just throw in a youth player and play Mbawamba. Like, just throw him in there. At least he's a defender.
Really?
Yeah, I do. Yeah,
against Mane and Jota.
This guy's a beast. 6-foot giant. Good on the ball.
I know he's a beast, but Mane and Jota, he's gonna go up against the kids going up against them.
I don't know. Ideally, if Thiago Silva's fit, you just put Thiago Silva there. That's a strong defense.
What about Krusty the Clown?
Or him if his back's all right. I don't know. Like, we don't know because fucking no one asked Thomas Tuchel the question: who's fit for the game? Don't even know. So this is why it's a bit up in the air. We don't know who's available, who isn't available. Throw at White in back. You could actually just throw there because he's been absolute crap. You just put last game. Just say, look, this is your punishment, mate. Let Pulisic play in his position this time. And
that miss was diabolical. I mean, he should have just taken he didn't even shoot. He tried to pass it. He tried to sweaty it. He should have just shot that.
The other option we have, which he might do against you guys, and it wouldn't surprise me if he did this, is he switches it to a 3-5-2. He leaves Lukaku up front with Mount sitting, so we've got a stronger midfield because we are weak. I do think with a 3-4-3 we'll leave ourselves open to you. That's what worries me. But if we have a 3-5-2, you have that extra midfielder in there. You could have Kante, Jorginho, and Mount, so Mount could still get forward. You could maybe have Hudson-Odoi or Pulisic on there if you wanted. Yeah, have Lukaku up front. But then if you wanted, you could even throw Havertz in. Do you know what I mean? I think that would work.
Yeah.
I would go with these two and give it a go and just say, look, you're both big. You're up against Van Dijk and Matip if they're both playing. Like, you know, Havertz, use your movement because your movement's very good. Lukaku, you know, try and contain or deal with Virgil van Dijk, use your strength and spin him and whatever. Do what you got to do.
You could try. I mean, it's all good trying. Will he do it?
Virgil van Dijk don't look the same still, to be honest. If I watched him the other day, he still doesn't look. I don't know. I watch him and I just think he looks a bit. I don't know. It's not the same.
I mean, he's still world class.
He is. I'm not saying that, but he's just. I don't know. I think he can be got at. Or you can do Christian Pulisic and just put Callum in, you know? And
so this is what Klopp's come out and said. Jurgen Klopp says Thiago Alcantara has a hip problem and will miss Chelsea. Liverpool have 3 new COVID cases in the first team as well. So one of them is for sure is Alisson. Alisson has for sure got COVID. The other 2, people thinking maybe Mohamed Salah.
Whoa. Is it Mohamed Salah?
And the problem is Minamino's injured as well, so he can't play right. I don't know who's going to be playing on the right.
You got Origi.
Origi's injured. He's got a back problem. Or is no, he hasn't got a back problem. He's got
What?
I think it's a fractured cheekbone.
So Allison and Salah could have COVID.
3 players,
Oh,
but they haven't told us who. I don't know why they haven't.
Listen, if Mo Salah has got COVID, this changes the game for me massively.
It really does. It really, really does.
If they lose Salah,
I don't know what to
if they
think.
lose Salah, what are they gonna? Oh, you got Firmino, didn't you? Yeah, you got Firmino as well.
Firmino hasn't been in training as well.
Holy
The problem is
shit.
Firmino hasn't been in training as well, so he could be the 3rd player as well. I don't know what to think anymore. I don't know who's
Salah was training. Was in training.
I don't know. We can only tell by tomorrow.
James Milner up top is what Matty's saying. James Milner.
Yeah, might as well have to put James Milner up top.
This is going to be the worst game of football that we're going to see.
It could get called off. It could get called off.
Look at you Chelsea fans wishing Salah gets. I didn't wish. I just find it quite telling because you guys need this guy. You need this guy. Postpone the game is what Owain's saying. I've got something coming here from. Yeah, I saw this. I don't know why I'm still talking about Lukaku, man. I don't care anymore. I'm just fed up with it.
Yeah, people may think it's Alisson, Firmino, or Salah who've got COVID.
Alisson,
Firmino and Salah, people think. But then Salah was in training yesterday, so
yeah, but it doesn't mean he couldn't have it today, though, could he? He could have it today.
I don't know. It's all speculation. One thing's for sure, Alisson's got COVID. I'm very sure Alisson's got COVID. I don't know about the other 2.
Alisson, like I said there, from what Rav just said, Alisson, Firmino, and Salah could have COVID? Question mark. So they may be missing.
For Firmino and Salah is question mark. Alisson, I think sure has COVID.
Alisson has COVID from what we understand. I've read it a couple of times as well. Alisson could be out, but Salah could be potentially out this game as well. And people are saying he's in training as well. So we'll have to see. This is like a Chelsea thing where we were like, it's this one, and this one, and then it gets to the game and they're all fit. It's just someone random. I mean,
yeah.
Well, it won't be Van Dijk because he already had it. So think of it like that. You'll be all right. You got Virgil. You got Virgil, mate.
I mean,
listen, guys.
How are we going to score a goal? How are we going to score a goal?
How are we going to score a goal, for fuck's sake? Actually, we've got Lukaku. We're right.
Exactly. You got someone who...
That's true.
My God. Oh, we just have to wait and see.
There's me thinking we're absolutely done and dusted, and all this Liverpool news starts coming out about their players, and it's like, oh, shit. Oh, shit. But anyway.
That's the problem with as Samuel hit the nail on the head, that's the problem with the media. They just speculate. They don't give us concrete evidence.
Smash the like, guys. Annoying. 200 of you here. Smash the like button. Let's get it up to 100 likes minimum. Subscribe to the channel. When I road to 3.7K. Closing the gap to 4K subscribers, man. Massive for GNA TV. The link is in the chat now as well. You guys can come in, have your say on the game. I pinned the link as well. We got Hassan, we got W coming in. There we go. What are we saying?
Nothing much, Gemma. I mean, to be honest, man, the comments were about our strikers, what everyone's been mourning about, but I'm not making too much fuss, man. We should focus on the game. What's happened has happened. And I'm getting a call, but I'll answer in a second. Before I answer the call, I was just gonna wait. Hello, can you hear me? Yeah, it's because someone's ringing me, so I was gonna quickly answer it. But from what I'm saying is how Liverpool gonna score. I mean, we got no defense. Like, who's our wing backs? I mean, you still have Mane still playing, isn't he?
Yeah, he does score goals.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, we got no wing backs. The only person we got is Alonso.
This is what Klopp said. So Klopp said we have three new COVID cases in the squad and more in the staff. And did you
say there were starters?
He said 3 starters in the squad, so basically starters. in this moment, when it comes to whether the game will be postponed, in this moment, probably not, but we don't know how it will look in a few hours. So maybe they haven't got everyone tested yet. If everyone comes back and tested and they got positive, then it might be called off.
Oh, it should be, to be honest.
On the right?
Sorry?
Do you think he'll play Ox on the right if Salah's out?
I don't know. I think he might play Mane on the right. Because Mane played on the right when he in 2016-17. And
sure?
he might
Ox can play on the right wing. And he puts
he
Jones in midfield.
can. Nah, but I think he'll play Curtis Jones on the left.
Hey Rams, you know why Klopp said that though?
Sorry, Rams. Sorry, everybody. Can you remove Lukaku
you
picture
usually
from
talk
there?
at the end, man.
Jem, can you remove Lukaku picture from there? I don't want to see him on the pitch. Can you just fuck him off? Remove the cunt.
Yo.
Hey, Jem, the bombs are gonna drop. Happy New Year, everyone. Bombs are gonna drop.
Hey,
you guys want to talk about Chelsea Lukaku? I mean, Chelsea Liverpool, guys. Chelsea Lukaku.
Lukaku will not be literally for his own safety. Listen, on 2nd of January, for his own safety, he should not be on the pitch because the crowd are there to throw bottles at him. Fuck Lukaku. Fuck Lukaku.
You boys are overreacting.
Then listen, this is going to be bigger than Luis Figo going to Real Madrid. We're going to make this the biggest saga of the next year. Listen, this guy, isolate him, punish him. Rudiger on the training pitch, tackle the fuck out of him.
Wow, you Chelsea.
This trolling is.
Go back to Inter Milan. We will stop it.
You're making it embarrassing being a Chelsea fan. What is this shite?
Listen, he wants to change his legacy because last year he won La Liga, Italian league, and he thinks he's going to win this year by going to Inter Milan in January. Fuck you.
Fuck
so you, wait, so wait, Classic.
We will.
You're trolling more than double you does, man.
Wait, Classic. Is he world class?
Kane, but this
Classic, is he world class?
Needs to be isolated.
Classic, is he world class?
He has a horrible fucking first touch. He has no technical ability. We paid 100 million. We treated him better. This cunt is a traitor.
So when he plays against Liverpool, do you want Van Dijk to buck him up?
He is not going to be playing against Liverpool
for
his own security.
You know what he said himself
Are you thinking this is a joke? Like a lot of people on space and trying to calm the situation. It's not going to be calmed. Imagine. Listen, okay, everything is normal. You're saying everything is normal, right? Let me see. Wait, Hassan, let me just have my, let me land. You think that, let's believe everything is normal. No, nobody cares about what has happened.
You're that high.
He's going to go to Stamford Bridge. He's not going to score a goal. The situation
he just scored.
No, if he doesn't score, we will be
he can't score, apparently. He's not playing according to you, you bloody idiot.
Will have an excuse that system sucked, Tuchel sucked, and this is not going to stop. This is going to be so big. This is going to become so uglier. You don't know. People in Stamford Bridge are ready for his head. And I'm not lying. He is a complete disgrace. I bet he has a contract.
He has to play, Classic. Yes,
I don't give a fuck. He doesn't bring Whale into
No, but I'm just going to say, Classic, can you understand his love for Inter? Because he was bailed out by him from United. Nobody rated him.
He has. He's been here for what, 7.5 games, and he's going to express his love for Inter.
No, but think about this though.
You said he was coming home to Chelsea. Do you remember that? He just kissed the virgin. He said he was coming back. I think he's just a mercenary because he did the same for Man United, did the same for Everton, did the same for Inter.
Do you know what
he has love for everyone. He has love for whoever pays him. And
you know what he should have done? He should have done all this when he left Inter Milan.
Yeah, I agree. He's an idiot for the timing.
Why do you have to do it now?
The timing's absolutely disgusting. It's unprefessional, and I've said it already. I'm not.
Yeah, and
this guy did this pre-planned. He made this interview 3 weeks ago, and just before the New Year Eve, he gives the Chelsea fan one of the worst present for New Year. This is like my New Year has been fucking ruined because I haven't slept for fucking 12 hours thinking about this club.
He's better. Hey, Classroom, he's better than Werner, man. He's better than Werner.
Clip this. I want to see it.
Classroom, he's better than Werner.
He's better than Werner, bro.
Werner better than Werner. Werner has dignity. Werner has ethics.
No, he don't.
Werner has no dignity.
Listen, Werner and Pulisic has given blood and sweat to this system.
Oh, really?
They have played in different positions.
Is that why he's missing
They have
chances?
never complained on live
Classroom,
TV, on TV. They have never complained on TV that Tuchel system is fucking doormats.
Werner's
never
shit, man.
complained.
Werner's
Hello?
so fucking shit.
Yeah.
He's so shit.
Because
The
he's
Pulisic guy and the Werner guy.
Everyone chill.
Let me just talk for you.
Wait. Nick Blue. Your boy don't love you, man. Your boy don't love you.
I know you don't. Classroom, you have to calm down. You don't go like that.
You calm down, mate.
Shut up, I'm talking.
Listen, this guy,
shut your mouth, man.
don't tell me to calm down. Listen,
People finish.
don't tell me to calm down.
Calm down, I'm saying, because you're talking so much shit.
This guy has
you
no
can't
Go and look at yourself.
Calm down. Let Nick Blue talk, man.
Nick Blue, you
Yeah.
calm down.
I'm calming down. I'm calm always. But look, the thing
No, you're
is,
not.
too many. All of a suddenly, all I hear is all this Lukaku hate because of one stupid Italian journalist called Fabrizio Wanker.
Romano.
Romano. I know what his name is. I don't want to say it. He doesn't deserve to be called his name. He should be hanged.
Listen, Nick Blue. I believe. No, you're not being fair. I trust Fabrizio more than my mother. I trust Fabrizio Romano more than my mother. This Lukaku guy has an intention to leave the club.
No, he doesn't
And
have
he
any
did
intention to leave the club.
Just before the transfer window opening, he did it. He allowed Sky
Class of you,
Italia
you don't know what you're
Fabrizio
talking
to
about,
make
man.
that.
You don't know what you're talking about, mate.
It was intentional. You're saying it's not intentional. Listen, the way he was talking with the Italian
they twisted his
Sky Sports, he was crying. He was demanding for something change. He was serious.
Let me talk now. You had your say.
No. Let me talk.
No, I'm talking now. Wait, you have your turn
Let
after
Nick
me.
Blue go. Let Nick Blue go, guys.
Bloody hell, man. What's wrong with you?
Let him go.
Yeah, I'm just saying, look, it's bad. If he did say something, it's not that big. If he said, the system, it's not that big. The system ain't been working anyway.
Okay.
But he can't go behind Tuchel's back, for sure. I agree with that. No player goes behind Tuchel.
Facts.
He's the manager. But there's a lot of shit involved as well. I don't believe everything I hear because these Italian journalists, they want to stir things up for Chelsea Football
Nick
Club.
Blue, listen.
Shut up, man. I'm talking.
Listen, Twitter, he followed Fabrizio. He followed Sky Sports Italia. He followed them.
That's right. Let him finish.
Yeah, I'm just saying, Jim, look. Yeah, I know. And plus, all of a suddenly, all the Haaland, the people, so-called Chelsea fans who wanted Haaland from the start, they didn't want Lukaku. They're all coming out giving too much hate. It doesn't do anything good for Chelsea. It only makes things worse.
Are you kidding me, Nick? Listen, the guys who wanted Haaland,
man, Johnny, I need Johnny.
Now, man.
Yo, Jem, I need Johnny.
Let me finish.
But you've been speaking for 10 minutes, man.
Let me finish 1 second. Yeah, and I forgot what I was saying now because Klaas was going in and out like an idiot.
Can I jump in, Nick Blue?
Wait,
ready
1
to
second.
blow up.
Shut up, you.
I'm
You
sitting
shut
in
the point what Klaas was saying, on Sunday, Lukaku's going to start. I know that for sure. He's starting, and the fans won't be throwing bottles at him. I guarantee that. I'll be there as well. And I guarantee they'll be singing his name out as well. So what do you think of that, you so-called Chelsea fans?
I'll tell you what I do think, yeah? Just, Nick, so you know, yeah, it was video footage. It had nothing to do with anyone media. No one held a gun to his head, right? It was out of his own mouth, own choice. That's what you have to deal with, yeah? And I just want to know that this guy has thrown flame on a fire from a comment from what Conte said weeks ago, right? He said that Chelsea do not know how to use Lukaku. What Lukaku just said, right? Because that caused an issue, and everyone started the echoing, saying that Tuchel is not playing to Lukaku's strength. That's why we're going through these games. This interview was 3 weeks ago. This interview was 3 weeks ago. You know what he said? I got the quote right here, right? So you don't misunderstand. He said, physically, I'm doing great, which means he was ready to play, and Tuchel didn't play him. So he separated himself already from the bad losses. He goes, I'm not happy with the situation, but that's normal, and that's all right. And then he said, I think the boss has decided to play a different formation, but I have to stick at it and get on with it like a professional. If he was such a professional, he wouldn't have said that line about the boss, right? About the different formation. But he has said he has set himself now.
For sure.
Hold on, Nick. He has set himself apart from Chelsea, from the coach, and from the bad results. The guy is a mercenary. He's only been here 7 games, and he's already separating himself, right, from Tuchel. Yeah, you know who this falls onto? He falls onto Tuchel. Yeah. If you guys,
I know.
All the people that think I say I got an agenda. This is all for you guys, and I want you to correct
this. You're taking it too far, right? All you lot.
Yeah, I might be taking too far because you're not seeing it.
Taking it too far against Lukaku. It doesn't help. Chelsea.
This is what Lukaku said, and everything he says has a meaning, right? He's been trained as a professional, and with media training, he's done many of these, right? Everything he says, has a meaning. When you say the manager has decided to play a different system, he didn't say I have to adapt to the system. He said the manager. He has already separated himself from the manager. He has separated himself from all these bad results that's happening now, right? He's not saying we're all in this together, and what he should be saying, right? He's separated himself. So if he has a bad game, he's going to say he's already set himself up that it's on Tuchel because Tuchel's not playing to his strengths, right? He's already set himself up. And if he gets benched, right, then it looks like it's because we didn't play him. And this started from when Conte said that we don't know how to use him. This is a $100 million investment now, and he's going against Tuchel. So that's what the whole thing is about. It's him or Tuchel now. He's not going against
Tuchel. He just said about the system. He just said
what are you talking about? I don't know.
There is a history of player power, right, in our club. And
wait a minute.
If he doesn't like what Tuchel's doing,
you remember what Drogba said when he first came? Do you remember?
I don't care, bro. Do you understand? You're playing down what he said. He said playing Fabrizio Romano, who just repeated his quotes.
What Lukaku's supposed to say, which is all
Lukaku has only been here 7.5 games.
Can we speak?
Well, let me say something on this Lukaku situation, because
Yo, big up, Sam. Big up.
Chelsea fans that are still defending this guy, I'm not gonna lie, you lot are idiots.
Exactly.
You went to Italian media, you said what you said with your chest, and listen, players are media trained, so you know what to say and not what to say. You said it in I think it was a quarter into the season.
Yeah, do you trust Italian Sky Sports?
You know, he said it.
There's video footage.
Let him finish. Let him finish.
But I don't want to have to.
Let me respond to that. The same guys that are saying, "Are you going to trust the Italian media?" I want to ask you, Lukaku, are you going to trust the Italian media to actually implement what you really said? If he knows that the Italian media will twist his words, why did you speak to them in the first place?
Exactly.
Can't commit it.
No, answer me that.
Answer you because you know he spoke. Maybe all right. He did speak to them, but they do twist the words a lot. It's not everything. It's not correct. It's not true. I don't believe a word of it.
It's not being.
Can I just say something? 1 second, guys.
Fabrizio to make get more likes or whatever.
Bro, I've watched the interview and I've read the transcript. Yeah, the transcript of what was actually said. Yes, there was certain words that was used by Fabrizio Romano that did make it sound worse, sir. But the main prerogative, the main thing, which he did, and it outlines in not only in what Romano said, but in the transcript and in the video, is that he was not happy with the system that Tuchel's playing at the moment, but that he said he's going to be professional, he's going to try and work on it, but he's not happy with it. So he's already moaning about the system, which means you're moaning about Tuchel and the way he's playing you. You don't have to say his name to be moaning about a manager. This is what people don't get.
He name dropped people, man.
People go, well, he didn't say his name. Where did he say his name? Can someone show me? Read the fucking thing properly and go and read the transcript properly. It's not.
Can I correct you? What you're saying is 100% correct. There is one thing that's wrong in there, which every person here has said, which hasn't been translated correctly. He never said that he wasn't happy with Tuchel's system. He said he's playing a system and he's not happy. He's not saying that he's not happy with the system. He never said system. He said he's not happy.
Exactly.
So wait, no, because I'm Nick. Nick, let me speak.
Wait, I read it out, Matt. Though.
Yeah, no, I get it, and you might have what you have. I get it, but
no, you're right. I'll read it. He said, "I think the boss has decided to play a different formation, but I have to stick at it and get on with it." But before that, he said, "I'm not happy with the situation, but that's normal." So that's together.
Yeah, right? No, hold on 2 seconds, because again, you're looking at it from one narrative where it could be interpreted a different way. Do I think he's wrong? Yes. I'm not on here defending Lukaku. I think what he's done was stupid and idiotic. But unlike the rest of you, with your pitchforks, don't play him again, call him every name under the sun, I'm actually just being a bit more calmer, where I'm waiting to see what happens from here. I'm waiting to see what the conversation happens before I put a pitchfork to him, because for all you know, it could have been interpreted the wrong way. Is he a silly idiot for doing it? Yes. But then he could go on and keep banging goals for us. These people saying don't start in the next game, you're idiots. You're biting your nose to spite your face.
Too much.
Oh, what if he doesn't bang goals? What does
Can I answer that? Hold on. I can answer that.
I have a genuine question.
Hold on. Let me just answer. Klasev. He said, "What if it doesn't happen? If it doesn't happen, then you react and you get your pitchforks. But what you don't do is get your pitchforks out until you know the full story. You've got half a jigsaw and you're burning the board."
Exactly. That's the problem.
What I can say about this is saying as though he did the interview and Tuchel didn't know about it, the players also didn't know about it. It will create a massive divide within the dressing room. It'll be like,
I agree. But there's two pictures to this, though.
Exactly. There are two pictures, but you can't stray away from the fact that this is a very serious matter. He's gone by himself.
First thing I said was Lukaku's been an idiot. I don't agree with what he's done. Do not agree. But there's two different actions here. You don't bite your nose to spite your face. You don't go, oh, he's done the bad press influence. Let's not go play him in one of the biggest games of our season.
Matty, you're missing something, and I'll tell you this. This is 3 weeks ago, right? And you know what happened in 3 weeks?
I know this.
Changed it up, and now Lukaku can play wider. So we almost changed it for Lukaku because he already read the transcripts, and the club has already read the transcripts before this came out, right? And so
I know this, but what I'm saying is you're emotionally reacting, not logically reacting.
You know what happens? He has safeguarded himself.
He said in Inter Milan, they were taking care of my family, my kids, and everybody. The Inter Milan fans did a lot of stuff. And what does that mean? Are we trusting and not doing much for him? We are fucking paying him 3,000 per week.
Look, I'm willing to have a logical debate. I'm not going to talk to Klasev about his silly emotions.
Klasev, giving you some facts on Italian football. Italian fans are a lot more emotionally invested in football than English fans is a fact. The way they treat their players is a lot different to how they do. The players that they adore him. They adore players in Italy. If you look at what happened in Milan, they adore the players that they have. But also, it can work both ways. They can also vilify them to more severely than England fans would do to our players. So it works both ways. Obviously, he's going to say Italian fans are everything because factually they are a lot more emotionally invested in football than us. It's a fact.
The thing that annoys me, and I'll say it here, there's 2 points to this, right?
There's your football team. Who are you going to play? What you're going to
line up, where anybody that says he shouldn't be starting for me is an absolute idiot. And then there's the emotional side where he has been an absolute idiot and took it on his own back to go do a press conference.
What do you do if you're the board? Matty, mate, let me ask you something. You're Tuchel and the Chelsea board right now. You're in a position where he's already been confirmed that he's gone behind the backs of the Chelsea and his own agent and representatives to do this interview as well, which is fair enough. I get why he's kind of done it. I just, again, for me, the timing of it's stupid, and I do think it's unprofessional still the way he's done it. But what do you do if you're the board and Thomas Tuchel right now with Romelu Lukaku?
Well, I do what I said that we should have done at the start. What you do is you get Lukaku in a room and go, look, idiot, what the hell were you thinking? If he comes out and it turns out that behind closed doors he's been kicking off, he's been trying to go against the manager for a long time, that is a different situation where then I do agree it's a bag-ended club. You suspend him, you fine him, you don't play him because you don't no players bigger than the club or the manager.
Yeah, you can't do nothing unless.
Wait, let me land. Let me just give the other side of it. If they then go into a bloody room together and Lukaku goes, do you know what? I was just a bit emotional after a loss. I obviously loved the time that I had in Italy. I tried to do something just to appease the Italy fans, just to obviously because of how I was feeling, and I messed it up. Yes, you still get in trouble. Yes, you still get fined. But there's two different narratives there. One, he's just been an idiot and handed it wrong.
Past history, bro. Look at every club. He never says sorry. He goes a next level.
Class F. I'm not doing it with you, pal. Not doing it with you, mate. You don't. You talk waffle. I can't do it with you, mate. You're a good guy, but we can't do a logical debate.
Hey, man, Andrew, Lukaku done what you're saying, yeah? Sorry, I don't know. One question for Matt. Lukaku could have done what you're saying, yeah, already. But instead of addressing it on social media, he jumped off it, and Tuchel took the heat in that press conference, and he had to deny the whole thing. So that's what he did. Well, you're saying that little room that he has to sit in and like a little kid in the corner, right? He could have addressed it straight away on social media. Easier done. One quick message.
You know, Lukaku doesn't run his own social media though. You know that, don't you? It's not like Lukaku's on Twitter.
That run it for him.
Lukaku doesn't do nothing. Lukaku is a fucking
but instead he turned it off, right, and left it all for Tuchel. So
and he would have been advised to do that though. Every footballer does that.
In his own hands. And do what you
declare. So all this hate, man. It's no good. No. Just because you wanted Haaland, you
no. You know what?
No. Don't
That's the divide.
Lukaku right now.
That's what it is for me.
Yeah, no. Declare to answer your point because you asked me the question. I'll answer it back. Right, I'll answer your point. So first of all, I don't think it would have been him that closed down. I think it would have been his agents or whatever you want to call it that have done that, and they've probably been advised to do that. Did he agree to it or not agree to it? Again, we don't know. So I'm not going to put the pitchfork to him and say that. But all I would say is every single situation like this across the world, most of the time you find down that they take down their social media. When Messi stopped going to training and there was all the crap with him, he took down his social media. When bloody hell, back in the day when Ashley Cole shot that bloody volunteer or whoever it was, he took down his social media. You don't keep your social media in a time of panic. What you do is you take it off, you take it away from that, and then you try and handle the situation. I think that isn't him. I think what they've done is they've gone, right, look at this shitstorm that we've created. Let's close it all down and then figure out how we're going to handle it.
I agree. And look, the one thing I would say about all of this before we go to Winter Surfer is that they do need to sort it out, and they do need to move forward. At the end of the day, we're in a shit situation where all the fans, I'd say 90% of the fans, love this manager. None of us want to see this manager being sacked, and none of us want to see this manager going anywhere. So there's that instance. And on the other side of it, you've got your £100 million player, your record signing player who's been here 2 minutes, who you want to succeed and do well. Obviously, not just because of the price tag, because of Lukaku and what he's, the supposed love that he's had for this football club since he first came and left and whatever else. So I think it's a point of, I'm pissed off with him still. No one can stop me from being pissed off with what he said. Because again, I keep stressing, with the Chelsea fan base, you've got people that are not happy with it, and people that are just saying that they're cool with it and they don't really think it's a big thing. Now,
Joe, can I ask you a question? Sorry. Finish. Sorry, finish. No, go.
For me, in this instance, there is no right and wrong answer in how you feel. It's just how you feel about this situation. What Lukaku's actually done by putting himself out there, is on him. And in theory, if people feel like what he's done and in terms of timing, I keep saying timing, is wrong, then that's fine. I don't think we should all be going against each other, right and wrong. You're out of order. You wanted Haaland. That's why you didn't like Lukaku. You're a Lukaku lover. That's why you back him. That's what we're getting into right now. And it shouldn't be like that. It should be, this is how I feel about it. He shouldn't have done it because of this, this, and this. Yeah. Or, no, what he done actually makes sense because the formation doesn't work and he talks truth. And he's just saying how he feels. Fine. I'm cool with both sides, but just allow people to have their opinion about it. Let's not fall out about it. And then we're going to have to move on. This club will move forward. This club's gone through a lot worse than this shit. This is bad, but this shit, we've had a lot worse, you know, so we will move forward. I want to go to Winter Surfer next, but I want to read out this comment as well. Sasuke, big up to you. He says, please be smart. Rivals want Lukaku to be dropped. They want us to boo him. We need to stop this crap, but we need to back Tuchel no matter what. At the bridge this Sunday, chant Tuchel's name and don't boo Lukaku. Be smart, Chelsea fans.
Exactly. The best thing anyone said. That's the best thing so far.
Hey, even though I said all that, Lukaku should
You
start.
might be saying that.
And he has to back his words now.
Can I add something?
Because if he doesn't score,
let's let Winter Surfer
go. The system to change and everything. So
Guys,
so can it be like he wants?
And then we'll go because there's other people here as well that haven't spoke. Go on, you're saying.
Yeah.
Big up, Andrew.
I see no one's paying attention to the Lukaku story. That's good.
It's a Liverpool preview, by the way, as well.
I just want to say, Klasrev, when you come out saying you trust Fabrizio Romano above your mum, then you lose all credibility in any debate you just said.
Preach.
I just want to say the one thing I am annoyed about, Jim, because I know we spoke yesterday. I am annoyed that he didn't inform anyone. That's what I am annoyed about. He didn't even have his own advisors there. If he had his own advisors or Chelsea people, I'm surprised he didn't think of it himself. My advice would have been to him, if this is about Inter Milan and their fans, you don't need to mention anything about Chelsea whatsoever.
Yeah.
If something comes up, you go, if someone asks you that question, you go, this is about me speaking to Inter Milan fans. Then I have no problem. I think we're all getting, the main thing we're all getting obsessed about is obviously the system quote and everything else. Everything else I'm not bothered about because he was saying it as part when he was he's going to say it's a PR interview for the Inter Milan fans, isn't it? So I'm not really worried about that. I agree with Matty K, those saying, no, we should sell him and we should swap him for Haaland. Yeah, because Haaland or his agent are really ones that keep quiet, aren't they? They won't come up and say anything. Lukaku needs to start because we are desperate. I'm sorry, desperate times call for desperate measures. What he needs to do now, even if he doesn't come out and clarify some of the statements that he made, he needs to do is talking on the pitch, whether that is have a barnstorming game that leads to us winning or he scores the winner. Because let's face it, we're football fans, which means we're hypocrites. If he scores the winner on Sunday, we're all going to be cheering.
Oh, you can forget it.
Exactly.
He's not on the pitch.
Well said, Andrew. I completely agree with you, man.
But respect each other's. Respect each other's
opinions.
Idiots. Stuff like that. We're all entitled to it. We all get over emotions
because Chelsea's
the
only one calling
Chelsea's our religion.
idiots. Yeah.
We don't need to.
Andrew, can I ask you a question?
Yeah, mate. Yeah.
Right, because I just want to ask a quick question. And to be fair, I think this would go to everybody, but not you, Klasrev, because at the minute you're too heated, pal. But I was saying right now, I'm not annoyed with anything he said. I'm annoyed with the way he said it. Because anybody saying that he's annoyed about the formation or situation or that, please just go back and watch any video for the last 4 or 5 videos. Every single one of us has been saying we need a different formation. We need a backup formation. We need to be trying new things. So
Matt, he didn't need to say the thing I would say, Matt, what I just said. He just.
If I
was advising him, I would go and don't say anything about about Chelsea or anything that's going on at the moment. It's all about Inter Milan fan. That's his error, which I'm so surprised that he didn't even have his own advisors there. Let alone he did.
Andrew, wouldn't someone have to sanction this, like from the club? Would it get released?
Well, that's why he didn't tell him, obviously, isn't it? Because they would have had a hand in it and gone, well, just
Jem, can I just have one sentence? Jem, listen, this Lukaku guy and his fanboys are stopping freedom of speech for me. They are stopping freedom of speech. I can talk about my team formation. The fans can boo him. You cannot stop us.
Join the Klasrev revolution.
Listen. If a policeman never talks shit about law, a footballer never talks shit about his fucking football team. That's the law. Like, can you even imagine a police officer talking shit about his department?
Free classroom.
This motherfucker has talking shit about his boss.
My dad was a policeman for 35 years and talked shit about his police department all the time. So yes, I do know it. So that what you're saying has got nothing to do with Lukaku whatsoever. Like I said, no one can take you seriously because 10 minutes ago you said you believe Fabrizio Romano over your own mum. Now I don't know what your relationship with your mum is, but that's what you said.
No, like listen. Do you not listen? Open your Twitter off. Open your Instagram. You are following Fabrizio Romano now.
No, but I'm not. I don't say I follow him religiously over my own mother.
Yeah, but you are following him. He is part of your life.
That's got nothing to do with me. I haven't said I trust Fabrizio Romano over my own parents.
Maybe if we meet Kazir's mum, we might have the same opinion. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, that's
Oh, God.
No, we don't go in that territory.
Do you really want to go there? Like, I can literally listen. Your mom can come out too. Like, we're not gonna do mother's joke because I'm gonna.
This is not going anywhere. This is not
going
anywhere.
This is so dumb. This is so
dumb. Right, let's let VJ go next because he hasn't said anything. Let's go, VJ.
Oh yeah, go VJ.
Go on, VJ.
Bombs.
All right, thanks, guys. So this is what I wanted to say. I immediately went on the stream, after I heard what has actually happened, and then we were translating word by word what we was actually saying. Right. One thing that I'd like to say about whatever he's talked about in Inter Milan, I couldn't care less because he's expected to say those, and that is what you probably say for your previous clubs. Even Hazard did the same thing with Chelsea when he moved to Real Madrid. So that's something that happens, and that is pretty much natural. But when it comes to you talking about the system and the manager and all of that, you should either have had prior approvals from your board or from the club. That is something that you should have done. See, I work in a consulting company. If I have to talk about my clients in the social media, I cannot do that because I've signed an NDA with the client, right? And the same goes for everyone. If they work in a club, then they're supposed to should have signed an NDA about certain things that they should not come out and say in the press or in the common forum that have a huge fan following, first of all, for themselves. So this thing that we talk about, right to freedom of speech and all that, it doesn't apply when you have an NDA. That is exactly the reason why you sign different agreements as to intellectual property agreement, NDAs, and all that. All right. So you should be very careful when you come out and say these things.
Yeah.
All right. Exactly. That's the first thing. And the second thing is that, we talk about football fans being hypocrite and all that. But I like Chelsea Football Club more than any players who play in it. Yes, of course, I like Ziyech, but it doesn't mean that Ziyech comes over the club for me, right? I've told Jem as well plenty of times that, you know what, just go ahead and sell Ziyech after the set of bad performance he had. Now every time I see Lukaku about to score goals on the pitch, or even if he scores like a 25 goal in this season, it will still be hard for me to trust this person if he plays for the badge.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Oh, please.
And that is where I ended.
Please. That's what I'm saying. Please. Do you know what? I just don't believe anyone that says that. I truly don't. If Lukaku
his goal would not matter, Andrew. His goal, he can put his goal into his ass.
If Lukaku scores, I'm telling you this right now. If Lukaku scores any type of winner that wins us a trophy, you're all going to be. You won't care about this interview. We are football fans, and we have to be forward.
Andrew, I can give an example. I can give an example to this. Hold on, class. Right, I can give an example to this. Right, if I was to say Fernando Torres to any of you lot, every single one of you would be Champions League worth the money we spent. Worth the money we spent because of the Champions League. But he was rubbish.
No.
So much times we was slating him, saying he was crap, all that. He won us a trophy or helped us win a trophy. Next thing you know, he's not a legend in our eyes, but we all go.
No one forgets that.
No, you got Ancelotti sacked. There's too much more negatives.
Can I give you an example of player today? I think the majority of this Chelsea panel dislike Alonso as a player, right? Yeah. If he scores the winner in the Champions League final, do you think our dislike of him, are we going to care? No, we're not. We are not going to care because he scores. We are hypocrites. We're hypocrites when the player scores, but the main focus is wanting our club to do well.
My issue isn't winning. If we win,
sorry to cut you off.
I agree that it solves everything when we win, right? My issue is that
perform now. He needs to perform now. Declared.
My issue is that his statement separated himself from the bad results. Right? That's my issue. So now that we're at our worst at the moment, and he's making statements which is separating himself from the bad results. This is when we need unity in the team.
He needs to step
and he's already separated himself, and he's safeguarded himself from any issues. So this is my issue. So if we have bad results, this is when this gets worse. If Lukaku, like everyone just said, if Lukaku starts scoring bangers and wins, and we play his way and everything that he wants, right, and he's happy, right, we're all going to be happy. I'm guaranteed that. Even I'm going to be happy. But what my issue is that he is now separating himself from Tuchel, right? And now if we go on a bad run again, which we got really hard teams in January, if everyone sees our fixtures, that now we're going to start saying, well, Tuchel doesn't know how to use Lukaku, and it's not Lukaku's fault. And this is what's going to happen. And this is the divide.
So he's threw Tuchel under the bus to protect himself a little bit, and I agree with that.
He's going to blame. That's my issue. That's my gripe.
But the two things that piss me off, and I'm going to say it one more time. I'm getting bored of talking about it, so I want to talk about the game. But two things that actually pissed me off mainly with the whole thing was the timing. Because I do think, even if it was 3 weeks ago, I just think it's silly from him to do that early. I do think that's something that you should be talking to your team about, your coach about, not talking to a media company. And like we said, he is media trained. He should know better. In that instant, there's certain things, certain way that you avoid these questions. And there's different answers that he could have given to that question.
Jem, he holds a degree in public relations.
But he did. But that's not saying he didn't. He went out and he said it how he wanted to say it, which is fine. Yeah, there is truth to what he was saying. I get that. But it's the after effect of doing that, which is what we don't need now. And that's why when Tuchel said today in the press conference, it's just, a headache we didn't need. Like, it's just, we didn't need that headache. We've got enough going on as it is at the moment. We need to concentrate on what's important, and the second thing is what Declared said earlier, so for me, it's one of them things of that we have to find a way around it. We have to, because he's our striker. I don't think we should be selling him and booing him and all that. Yeah, even though I was very angry yesterday when it first came out, I'm not going to lie. I was very annoyed with it all. But at the end of the day, the club have to sit with him, and we have to find something where we have to move forward. And Declared's right. If he's scoring goals, no one's saying shit. We're all going to be happy with him doing that, and we're going to move forward from it. So I just want us to... we need to stick next. We need to all stick by Tuchel and really just stick by him. And when I say stick by him, is that if we are going to go through this run and lose games, and it could happen because we are suffering massively with injuries with Man City and Liverpool round the corner, then we have to just make sure that we're showing the board that we're 100% on his side. Yeah, and I do think Lukaku has, in his comments, has isolated himself from the issue. And I think, to a degree, and I said this earlier, I think he's done that because he knows he's the £100 million, signing, and he doesn't want that pressure being thrown on him. He doesn't want it to be it's partly because of me because I'm £100 million. So what he's done is he's gone, right, yeah, I'm here. I'm going to play. I'm going to work in the system, but I'm not happy with it.
Jem, when the injury happened 3 weeks ago.
Jem, if it comes to, let me ask you a question, right? Let me ask you a question, right?
Yeah, it is weird. You just don't say that though, do you? You've kind of like you've pulled yourself away from a manager. You shouldn't be doing it.
Just concentrate on the Inter fans. Inter fans. Just talk about Inter and the fans.
Yeah, exactly. Talk about Italy. Yeah, even the Italy thing to a degree. I got it. I didn't like it. Some of it pissed me off as well. But I get it. He wanted to say bye. He didn't get to do it, which I still think he should have done when he left. He shouldn't have done it now. Yeah. And he said what he said with the Martinez thing. People were upset because he said, "Stay there, don't come here. I'll be back there soon." Fine, whatever. If he wants to go after a year or two, go. I don't care. Don't bother me.
Can I just say now, because everybody's shutting me up, right? Listen, 2 days ago, Conte came up with a press conference. He needs player, and now this comes up. This guy talks with Conte all the time. This guy wants to go to Inter Milan or he wants to go to Tottenham Hotspur, whatever. This was intentional. This was just before the opening of January window. This guy wants to leave our club. Why don't you guys understand that?
Because you don't understand. You don't understand the word we've been saying.
Let VJ go, boys. Let VJ go. He's been waiting to ask a question for about 10 minutes.
Go on,
Yeah,
VJ.
just one quick question, right? So if it comes to Lukaku versus Thomas Tuchel, I hope it doesn't come to that. But if it comes to that, we all know that the club naturally will prefer Lukaku, right? Because of the financial value both of them bring into the club.
Exactly.
We get managers for what, 3.5 million, 4 million? Yeah, but a player is worth 100 million here. If at all it comes to that, if at all it comes to that, it's going to be the board choosing Romelu Lukaku, right?
Exactly.
So what he's basically done through this interview is that he's pitted Thomas Tuchel against the board to an extent.
To a degree, yes, and I agree again with it. Let me get this right. I am on the side of that. I am not happy with what he's done. I still am. I'm still not happy with
listen,
all of it.
Jan, he had put up. Listen, there's only one solution to this. Jan, there's only one solution to this. He goes to Spurs, and Kane comes to us. There's no other solution.
Oh God.
There is no other solution
because he's one. Can I ask you a logical question?
And listen, our board
I'll wait for this one to tire out and get them in or something.
To lose 100 million.
Right.
I want to go to the game after this as well. I'm getting a headache with this fucking.
Time for a logical question. I think I'll go for here. Right, and this isn't on the game, but this is literally going to be my last question on the whole Lukaku thing. He's done something stupid. We've all agreed on that. I don't think one person here has turned around and said what he did was right or clever or anything like that. It seems like every single person agrees what he did. He was an idiot and stupid. I think there's different levels of anger because of that, which is fair enough. That's to each individual. My question is, forget about what he's done. Forget about, what he said, what might be the future ramifications. My question is now, because I think this will be a variant answer. Now, what has he got to do for the pitchforks to be put away, or for people to go, okay, he was an idiot, but we're over that now because he's doing X, Y, and Z? What is it that you guys are going to need to see from him to bury the hatchet?
What he was brought to the club to do, and even more so now because we're suffering massively with injuries, win us games, be the difference. I want colossal performances from him. I think he owes this club massively now. Go and do something as stupid as that, which I do think is very stupid. I don't want to keep talking about it. I think he owes us massive performances on the
game. But he ain't going to win the games by
Wait a second, Blue. Show us that you want to be here. Show us that you're a part of this football club.
The rest of them have to show up as well, don't forget.
Yeah, but I'm not.
We can't have them missing open goals.
Fine.
Give it, Lukaku was the only player who was playing.
Nick,
don't forget that.
Nick, I agree with you, but I think you can't put that on this conversation because it weren't the rest of the team that went out there and did a press conference. It was him.
Yeah,
so
but you can't go and do that. You
can't put a group setting on it.
We shouldn't get too carried away with it. That's what I'm saying.
Well, going back to the game, I've actually got
on one person.
I've actually got a question for Ram about the game as well, because I know we hadn't talked about that for a while. Who do you think our biggest threat is against us right now? Who are you most worried about?
N'Golo Kante. I think N'Golo Kante is going to be your biggest threat, especially in transition. When we're trying to attack your goal and then he wins the ball back. Because people forget, N'Golo Kante, not only can he run far, he is quick as well. He is very, very quick.
Very fast.
And that transition is going to be a bit of a struggle for us, in my opinion. So, yeah, I think N'Golo Kante is going to be your most threatening player out of everyone.
I don't think different.
Just to let you know, mine. I'm more nervous about set pieces against Liverpool with these. Obviously, depending on
Verge.
Yeah. I think. My worry is look at the last game. Trevor and Rudiger for that last equaliser goal. None of them really showed themselves in glory trying to get up for a really slow cross. I think we have Thiago.
Have a good day.
That's what Big Rom's there for, Matty.
It is what Big Rom's there for, Andy. But yeah,
that's true.
I'm worried that this is going to be an absolute midfield battle where a game might be decided from a set piece.
Can I just address what Ram said about him saying that he's worried about Kante being our most dangerous player? As Chelsea fans, how depressing is that sounding from a rival fan? He said,
no, do you know what?
I'm talking from a tactical point of view.
I know,
like,
but
Kante is a generational player. Man.
I know.
Let me speak on that real quick.
But when I say Liverpool, if you had a full Liverpool team, I'd go Salah, Mane, Jota, or Thiago, or something. The first name comes up. It's like Kante. You're not saying Lukaku, Pulisic, Cho.
It's like the James Milner of the Liverpool team.
Yeah, how depressing.
Yeah, let me speak on that real quick.
Oh, man.
I won't lie to you. This game, I can see Tuchel parking the bus. I'm not even going to lie to you. I can see Tuchel parking the bus and them getting us on a counter attack. That's what I see. Because
Depends on who their free COVID cases are, I suppose. Especially if like Salah's out.
He won't do that.
Sounds like a good bit more, Andrew.
Yeah, he won't do that.
We know what Tuchel does against the teams that he feels are better. How would I say? Better at playing football. And when I mean better at playing football, will just tactically outplay you off the pitch. If you get what I'm saying, against Man City, against Liverpool, against I don't know, even the Bayern Munich. I don't know, but I can see him parking the bus and you lot trying to get us on a counter attack. That's why who I'm really worried about. If you lot play Havertz and Pulisic, it might be a problem. It might be a problem.
Good movement, because their movement. That's what you're worried
their
about.
movement.
Playing Pulisic right wing back, bro. That's what he's playing.
I'd put kind of Hudson-Odoi out there after his performances. I want to see Pulisic actually have an opportunity to play in his position. For once. Do you know what? Christian Pulisic, and as much as people bang on about him since he's come back, you think about when he has played. He played in a false nine. Yeah,
he hasn't played his position. He hasn't played his position.
Yeah, he played in a false nine because he had to accommodate playing there, and then because we haven't got our wing back. Instead of using Cho because he's been in some sort of form, we've been putting him out there. He's not once been able to play in his position, just behind the striker. I think we should play him there. You know, I think we should give him the chance. People say but he's been crap. We haven't given him the chance to play with Lukaku up front properly yet. You know what I mean? Like
he's been playing a lot better as a wing back. You know,
no, he's not even been given the opportunity to play just behind the striker.
He's been playing, pretty good, really.
He's been
compared
to
what he was.
Look at it, he's not even a striker. Like it's not his position, is it? He can't do that. No, I would play if Salah's fit. Yeah, and they're only missing Alisson. I would play a 3-5-2. I would. I'd play 3-5-2, and this is what I would do. This exactly there. I would set up like that. I would play. I'd play Kante, Jorginho, Rudiger, Chalobah, Aspi, and then I'd play Lukaku. And do you know what? I'd actually like to see Lukaku and Havertz up front. I would together as the two. But you know, if it ain't, then I'd actually like to see Lukaku and Pulisic.
Do you know the only thing I feel bad for Pulisic about is I think this formation would be brilliant, and I think the opportunities he's had in forward positions have been really good. I just think with Alonso's play, and I think they're completely different. The way that Alonso gets forward is different to how Chilwell gets forward. I think Alonso doesn't complement Pulisic, where I think Chilwell would. So, I mean, I like the idea of giving Pulisic a run in this formation. I just worry about our left side in that situation.
I'm not going to lie. Alonso has to stay back. He will have to stay back in that game, because would you trust him going forward and then that space in behind him? Would you trust that?
It depends how we play. If we're going toe to toe with them, if we're not trying to do a defensive counter attack run, I disagree. I think you've got to put him forward to try and keep Liverpool numbers back. I think if we're going to park the bus, then obviously in that situation he needs to not go forward. But how Tuchel sets up for this, I have no idea. All I know is I trust him. I pick the manager over a player any day of the week. Tuchel's one of my favourite managers we've had in a very, very long time.
Yeah, since Mourinho, he's the best.
I just think with Havertz's movement against the Matip, like getting down the byline, creating the space in the box for Lukaku to maybe have one-on-one with Van Dijk could be the difference.
Jim, I'm going to go out on a limb and say here, it might look a lot different from what you've had here. But then if I were to play this formation, I'd probably ask Mount to play in that left wing, which you have Havertz currently, and then ask Kovacic to play in that cam position. I know he's not effective as a cam, essentially, but then he combines well with these two players, like Mount and
Lukaku. But then you lose the movement up front. I don't think Mason Mount's got the same movement as a Havertz or maybe even a Pulisic, like in terms of running into space. I think he likes coming deep.
I think we should drop Mount on the bench and Hudson-Odoi on the bench for sure. I think we should go with Havertz, Lukaku, and Ziyech if we want to win this game. Yeah.
Do we know how fit Havertz is? Because
Havertz he's been training. You know, he was on the bench the other day, wasn't he? So he must be ready to play.
I think for me though, I think Havertz brings something similar to Mount, not exactly, but I think Pulisic brings something completely different. The way Pulisic runs at players and draws players to him, I think will help Lukaku's game more.
We've got a guy called Ibrahim here. Ibrahim, how you doing, mate? You all right?
Hi. Sorry, I'm not speaking English very good. I'm from Swedish. I will speak Swedish.
Okay.
But I'm a Chelsea fan from long tid, so it's nice to hear you about Lukaku case and other things.
Yeah.
For me, first I will speak about Lukaku. It's if we watch the summer transfers, we know that Lukaku were not our first choice. We go all the money with Haaland. We have to reach to 150 million, but the deal not make it for many reasons. For that, Haaland can maybe want Real Madrid, or he didn't trust with Chelsea project or something like this. Unfortunately, we saw that Inter Milan have a bad economy situation, so they have to sell Lukaku, and we buy it. So maybe this clear the situation late and have motion for Inter Milan and want to clear this motion for the Inter Milan fans are so angry with him, with the movement that happened so quickly, and nobody expects that Lukaku will transfer from Inter Milan to Chelsea with this performance they had with Inter Milan. So maybe this complicated with him had have a motion to Inter Milan. He spent 2 seasons there, and he was deep in the Manchester United and became a good player with Inter Milan, with improvement, with fast, with shoot, with something like this, and want to prove Chelsea in the otherwise. So it's maybe I understand him, but that's hurt also, as he said about he would not move to Chelsea, and he didn't want this movement. So that's
he never said he didn't want the move. That's complete fabrication. He never said he didn't want to move. If you actually read the quotes, he
said he will not leave Inter Milan. So it's
no. Once again, he did not say that. What he said is that he went to the board to try and get a new contract. He wanted his future sorted there. They said no. He also said he talked about why he was an Inter Milan player, the 3 clubs of Barcelona, Real Madrid.
I know you are always in the summer with I watching this, but if you remember, we make an offer for him about 60-70 million, and he refused it.
No. There was no offer for it. There was rumours we were going to make an offer for it. He came out, if you remember, I think it was before the Euros. He said, "I'm happy at Inter Milan." There was no firm, concrete interest from us. Just like
a player has to say that as well. A player has to say that.
Then when look how quickly the move happened. As soon as we actually were in contact with Inter Milan.
But you're missing something very big. You're missing something very big here.
But we make
Inter Milan
100 million
financial problems.
That's
okay. So we took advantage of their financial problems.
Exactly. So do you think Lukaku really wanted to move?
Well, if you listen to it, as soon as he said if there was interest in Chelsea, he wanted to come to us. That's what he said.
He also
I don't think he make a stable situation in Inter Milan. He play good there. He play very good.
He actually said it. If you're going to use quotes against him, then you can use quotes to support him.
I think there's a lot.
Say another quote that he did want an extension, and if he'd been given the extension, he probably would have stayed.
He would have stayed.
Right, but if you add all of it together, he went to the board. They said no. Yeah, our interest in Lukaku wasn't concrete then. Okay, as soon as our interest in him was concrete, and he wasn't going to get the contract from Inter Milan because of their financial issues, he wanted to come to Chelsea. I have no problem with that. Right now,
can I just say as well?
I want to move to Real Madrid, Barcelona, or
no, there's nothing wrong with Chelsea player. Nothing wrong with that.
No, can I just say as well? Sometimes
player, then I would have a problem. But he said it as an Inter Milan player.
Yeah, can I just say sometimes
I'm not angry. I like him. I like him. Some player. I like him. He make a difference for us. We know how we suffer with Kai Havertz in the Premier League, and he didn't score. We know that. We know that he is not a clinical. He can run. He can push the difference, but never make a goal.
Can I just come in a second? Because there's something that's been said here a few times, and it just needs to be squashed. There's been a few times people have said, "Oh, Lukaku never wanted to come to Chelsea." Now, ignore whether that was real or not real. It doesn't matter. Honestly, when people say, "Oh, hold on, let me finish." It doesn't matter whether a player at the moment in time when they make these press conferences say they want to come or don't want to come. Because let's be factual here. Thiago Silva did not want to leave Paris Saint-Germain, but he had to.
But Thiago Silva...
Wait. I'm not done. Yeah, but I'm not done. Right. But either way, whether he wanted to or not, he's come to this club, right? He didn't want to be here. He wanted to stay at Paris Saint-Germain, but he's been one of our best players this season. Right, he's been one of the best players since he's come to Chelsea.
No.
Messi, wait. Let me land.
Allow him to finish it.
Okay. Yeah, let me land.
Go on.
Lionel Messi did not want to leave Barcelona. He's at Paris Saint-Germain. Do you think the Paris Saint-Germain fans are going, "Oh, should we keep him? Should we play him because he didn't really want to be here?" Whether a player wants to be somewhere or not is completely irrelevant. It's about what they do and how they perform at the club. I don't care if Lukaku wants to be here or not. I don't care if he plays for the badge. If he's scoring goals and doing his job, I'm happy. And this is where I think players sometimes get confused, right? The reason Harry Kane's getting so much shit is because he's not doing his job and he doesn't want to be there. Hazard wanted to leave Chelsea. We asked him to stay for an extra season. He didn't want to be here for a season. He still did the job. This wanting to be at a football club, for me, is ridiculous.
Guys, let's get Fator in. Fator, what you saying?
Oh, not this guy.
You want make me a brain fart a bit more.
Not the Werner lover.
Shut your gum.
Yeah.
Turn on Romelu Lukaku real quick and then back to Timo Werner. Wow. Round of applause for everyone's that being a proper whale at this time around. Unbelievable. But yeah, you know what, on Sunday...
The stream has done that.
All right, Andrew. But anyway, on Sunday, so 3 COVID tests, so not looking good for Liverpool. But not be surprised if the game get called off at the end of the day, but I'm not really that confident. You saw what happened to Reece James. Literally he's gonna be out for 2 months at least. So transfer window will open tomorrow. So we need to sort ourselves in the transfer market. We need to get someone in.
We could sell Lukaku, get Haaland. That'll be a good start.
Right,
and then we'll do what Klasriff said.
Hold on. Are we playing the Johnny card? Yeah.
Yeah,
Johnny. Yeah, we'll do the Johnny one as well. Who else can we sell? That's annoying. Who's annoyed us?
We can buy Alfonso Davies as well.
Bitchinson, yeah. Bitchinson, yeah.
Yeah,
Actually,
get rid of
you know
that
what?
Bitchinson.
I think, Jeb,
James, to sort our right back and midfield, let's buy Kimmich as well. Let's just buy him.
1 minute.
That's two positions covered. Yeah.
I think all these.
So Crusty, so Jorginho, so Barkley.
Let me talk a minute. Hello. Yeah. Let me say something which I think is very true. You know, I think all these problems we're having with Lukaku, Italy, journalists and all this, is because of Johnny. Because he wanted Haaland.
Let's have it right.
Well, I ain't gonna lie to him about that. I look, Erling Haaland's still my first choice.
I think we should blame Johnny for everything.
Listen.
You give him far too much credit, Nick Blue. You give him far too much credit.
Guys, let's do score predictions because I do have to shoot. 2 hours and 20 minutes. Good show. Still 170 people here. Smash the likes, guys. We've got over 100 likes. Thank you very much for that. Subscribe as well. Subscribe if you're new here as well. Ram, you could have no Salah. You could. You couldn't. You don't know. Give me your predictions, man.
I think it's going to be a 2-1 win to Liverpool.
2-1, yeah?
2-1.
All right, let me ask you this. Without Salah, your prediction?
You know what? You know what? I don't know why I said 2-1 because before I just remember my prediction I was going to give no matter what. The hype around this game, I mean, it ain't Christmas time anymore, so shut your gums, bro. Shut your damn gums. Dumb. You're rent boys, innit? So I don't give a damn. So I said it before. I said it before. It's gonna be a draw. It's a draw. I didn't mean a win. It's gonna be a draw. It's gonna be like a 1-1 draw.
All right. Fair enough.
No win.
What you say, Winner Surfer?
With no confidence whatsoever, 1-0 to Chelsea. With no confidence whatsoever. Okay. Lukaku winner. That's what's
there you go. Lukaku winner. There you go. Matty K, what are you saying?
Oh, nah. I don't know. I'll be honest. I don't know. I feel like maybe the opposite to all you lot. I feel like both the teams are going to be so shy that there might be a lot of goals. So I'm going to say 3-2 Chelsea.
3-2. You think goals? Yeah.
I think goals. I think if there's a load of crap players on the pitch, you know, I mean, how we've been performing, and if they don't have Salah, I don't know. I just think goals.
Fair enough. 3-2. That's fair enough. Samuel, Liverpool fan. With and without Salah, tell us. Go on.
So with Salah, do you know what? They're gonna double team Salah if he plays. Okay, without Salah, it will be 1-0 Liverpool. I'll say that without Salah, it will be 1-0 Liverpool. But with Salah, that's
3-0 Chelsea.
I'll say 3-1 Liverpool with Salah.
Wow.
All right, fair enough.
Man, I went for a draw. I just have a feeling this game is going to be dull. And it's going to be
the game's
a draw.
Finished second to Man City.
Exactly. It's just like,
I have confidence in my team in the sense of when Liverpool lose, our bounce back is very good. Our bounce back is very good.
It is. That's what I said to Ram earlier, actually. I was a bit worried that because you guys lost, you're going to bounce back. But
we didn't lose because we got outplayed. We lost because we didn't put away our chances, literally.
Exactly.
Yeah, and you could do that against us. You never know. But VJ, what are you saying?
Who knows?
A couple of points, Jem. I'm very low on confidence in this game. Chelsea winning it as much as I would want to. I think it's going to be a Liverpool win. I'm sorry if I'm saying something that you guys don't want to hear, but I think it's going to be a 2-1 for Liverpool. But since I'm a Chelsea fan and I shouldn't be pessimistic about it, I'm going to go ahead and say it's a 1-0 for Chelsea. Even if we win it, it will be by a very low margin, so probably 1-0 for Chelsea. Also, Jem, I'm really sorry. I quickly wanted to answer Matty's question on what should Lukaku basically do to get back on the good books? For me, Matt, I keep it very simple. Even if he scores 25 goals, I don't really care. He should probably come out and explain himself to the media once again. if he has the guts to talk about certain things that he should have, he talked in the press. He also, should be doing this, provide an explanation, which I've not heard until now. So if that is done and if it is all good, I'm fine with it. That's probably what I would want to see from Lukaku.
No, I agree with that, mate. The only reason I'm a bit pessimistic of that happening is I think after this situation, I don't think he'll be allowed to come out and say anything. But I get what you mean. I agree with that.
All right, fair enough. What are you saying, Fatul?
I'll say 4-3 if it goes well. Goals.
4-3.
Wait, 4-3 to who?
If it's 4-3, I will love it. If it's 4,
wait, 4-3 to who?
Yeah, 4-3.
Fair enough. You do realize that's the total of the 4 matches that we've scored last, right?
Yeah, 4-3 Chelsea. Come
on. Sam.
I'm not looking forward to the result also, but I'm looking forward to also.
Sam, you do need to remember Ali's definitely got COVID.
To be honest, we played Chelsea with Adrian. Yeah, we still won.
Yeah, but we did have Lukaku.
Did we?
Remember that? Yeah,
Did we?
Yeah, we played them. We beat them 2-1 at Stamford Bridge. Remember, and then in the Super Cup.
Yeah,
as
I
well.
remember that.
Super Cup and Stamford Bridge.
No, I'm saying like we beat them 2-1 at Stamford Bridge, but then we also played you in the Super Cup.
Yeah, I'm saying it's going to be 2-1 to Chelsea. I'll never put my team down. We're going to win this game. We're going to show what we're made of and kill these Liverpool scumbags and send them back to the scum of Liverpool.
Love that. Red boys.
And Lukaku is going to get 2 goals and shut up all the fucking haters.
Yeah, we'll let our team do the talking on the pitch. Yeah,
Ibrahim, what are you saying?
Definitely Chelsea win. 2-1. I'm going 2-1 to Chelsea. It's a big match. Thiago Silva must play, I think.
I don't know if he'll be back. Apparently he's in training today, but I don't know.
No, he's in training. Whee!
He plays.
The better player,
Thiago Silva will play.
Yeah, Thiago Silva's in training.
Thiago
Silva.
So it's
if Thiago's played, that's it. We've won for sure.
Sam, why is it that their Thiago is fit but ours is not, man?
Thiago's playing.
I'm annoyed about that.
Thiago's the bum anyway. Absolute shit.
Shut up, Jam. Why are you chatting? Why are you chatting nonsense?
Thiago will control that.
I'll tell you what's happening. This game is probably going to get called off because I know Klopp. He's going to have all those players, COVID players, stuck in a room. He's going to want this called off. That's what he's saying. Justify all his whining that he's been doing.
Carry on with your agenda. Carry on with your agenda.
You're living in a dreamland. You got all these players missing, Rams, and you still go, 2-1. Hey, I'm telling you, if you got all those players out there you mentioned, you guys are getting battered. Lukaku's going to have a field day on what he said. He's going to start backing what he said now. He's going to start. We
still got Verge. We still got Verge. You saw what happened.
Your team is going to fix this mess. Liverpool are going to fix this mess. You guys are going to let Lukaku score his goals on a counter.
I saw Dejan Lovren pocket Lukaku. I think Verge.
Declared.
I saw how many chances.
Virgil was the last man, right?
Missed sitters all day against. But you know the last few games Liverpool has had. You've been so lucky. Every team has had a field day against you at the back line. And what do you think Lukaku's going to do when you give him half the field?
Declared. I've got a question. Declared. I've got a question for you. Say we change formation and we do this formation that Gem put up. Say we change formation. And Lukaku actually does have a screamer of a game, gets a couple of goals. Does that not fuck up all our arguments about him? Because then suddenly what he said is true, it changed, and he performed. I think that's more dangerous.
To make your point more valid, it needs to be consistent games, right? If we beat Liverpool and then we have these roll games where we lose, we're going to be back to this point, this position where we were arguing in. Right, and even worse because now we're going to be trying to find out what the problem is.
Today was funny. Today was funny. It was funny.
Listen, if Thiago Silva's fit, and Alisson and Mo Salah have got COVID, we're winning 2-0.
We're winning 3-2.
That's what I'm saying.
Like I say, if you don't win that game, I really need to.
If Salah's playing,
all we need is Thiago, Kante, and Lukaku. Liverpool.
One second.
Rams, you do realize that Van Dijk was the last man for the Lookman goal, right?
Guys, one second.
Matip.
One second. I ain't finished yet. If Salah is playing and Thiago Silva is playing, there's another option here. Yeah. And we have Rudiger, Thiago Silva, and Chalobah as three at the back. Then we're winning 2-1.
Like I said.
Remember, Alonso tax. Alonso tax.
Alonso tax weighs heavy, man. Alonso and Jorginho play the same area, right? They play on the left, innit?
If Thiago Silva isn't playing, If Thiago Silva isn't playing and Salah is, and we've got Chalobah, Rudiger, and Aspie as our back three, then I'm going to draw.
Hey Rams, is Henderson gonna be all right patrolling where Trent leaves all them spaces? Is he up to that task still? Or
no, because we got Fabinho. Nah, it's all right, man. It's all right.
Okay,
if you leave those space,
I'm not getting at you. I'm not getting at you. I'm not getting at you. I know you.
If you leave those like little half spaces next to Jorginho and Alonso, then that's a different story.
Ram, think of this, right? If Salah has got COVID, right? Let's say he's out for this game. That means he can't go to AFCON, which works in Liverpool's favour, and he has to stay here, which means that
that's true. That is true.
That works in your favour. Maybe Liverpool will pretend that he's got COVID. So
what do you mean pretend?
In the long run,
there's already one.
You're cheating.
Nah, do you know what? I'm gonna
why?
do? He's gonna play the game. He's gonna play the game, and then after he's gonna get COVID, and he can't go.
There we go. There we go. But Sam, that would be ethically immoral, so we cannot do that.
Yeah, that's true.
Of course. Are you joking? He'll be sitting in a room having like sick people cough on his face.
No. I think if he does have COVID, it's because he got it from Alisson for sure. Because they're like friends, isn't it? So
what they top Taylor.
Huh? What was that?
I think we should do that with Mendy as well. Let him play.
Because Mendy wouldn't play the League Cup games, the FA Cup games anyway, so he could be out of isolation for the season.
I mean, you should do that with Ziyech as well, man. Do it with Ziyech.
No, he can go. He can go.
Let him go.
Guys, happy New Year to every single one of you guys. It's been a massive crazy end of the year. If you're a Chelsea fan, anyway, end of the year always crazy. But yeah,
this is the same year that Ram said Lucio was one of the best centre backs ever.
Yeah,
greatest ever Brazilian centre back.
Ram also said that Harvey Elliott's better than Mason Mount, but we move anyway.
He will be better than Mason Mount, but I might have to take it back because he's got the same injury as bullshit. So I might have to take it back.
There you go. Guys, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. Happy New Year to you. I hope you have a great evening, wherever it is you may do, a great day and declared today because it's New Year's Day where he is at the moment.
Happy New Chelsea year.
And I'll be back. We'll be doing the. I won't be around.
Steve Gerrard.
If I go to the game with Winter Surfer, but we'll see what happens.
Sat on his fucking ass.
That's not me, bro.
You have John Terry on his
guys singing the greatest song for Liverpool.
Steve Gerrard.
Gerrard.
He slipped on his
This is why Chelsea already.
Feed them scousers, let them know the dirty